This morning, we have reached the quarterfinals of the 2026 ACC Baseball Championship. One team this weekend will clinch the ACC's automatic bid. Will it be the regular season ACC champion, Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets? They make their first appearance in Charlotte as they get ready to take on the 8th seed, the Virginia Cavaliers. Virginia yesterday took on Duke, and a late rally gave them a 6-4 victory over the Blue Devils, putting them in the quarterfinals against one of the top teams in the country in Georgia Tech. Let's take a look at the bracket. Later this afternoon, Boston College will take on Miami. And then tomorrow, North Carolina and Virginia Tech, and Florida State and the Cinderella Pitt Panthers. And we welcome you inside our broadcast booth here at Truist Field in Charlotte, North Carolina. With Gabby Sanchez, I'm Mike Farron. This is a star-studded matchup. Hey, no team in the country may have as many big stars as Georgia Tech, including 2 potential top 10 picks in the upcoming draft.
Yeah, you look at this Georgia Tech lineup, and it's great. They led the whole entire nation in average and OPS, but there's 2 guys in that lineup that do it all. Drew Burris and Von Lackey. Drew Burris, just Mr. Consistent, has done it about a .359 average, and that's throughout all his 3 seasons, 57 home runs. You look at what Von Lackey has been able to do. His growth as a player, as a freshman, he hit .214. How about in his first 2 seasons, only 10 home runs this year? 400 with a 1,200 OPS and 15 round trippers. You're looking at 2 guys that can be 2 top 10 picks in the MLB draft.
ACC Defensive Player of the Year, the all-time home run leader for Georgia Tech, and Drew Burris. Tate McKee will make the start. He's been the Friday guy for the Yellow Jackets for the last 3 seasons. He is getting ready to go, and we are joined by the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, Taylor McGregor, with more on the right-hander.
Well, Mike, Tate has a brand new weapon. It is a cutter that he throws with the slider grip. The first time that he threw it was last Thursday against Boston College. Threw it 40 times, had a 65% whiff rate. He started throwing it because he wanted a shorter shape breaking ball. He had a ton of success in his last outing, so let's see how it plays here today.
Well, Eric Becker lines out to second base, the star shortstop for Virginia, back in the lineup last weekend after an injury, is out number 1 as McKee gets the lineup, and we'll take a look at this lineup for Virginia. It is very left-handed. It has a lot of Duke transfers, and A.J. Gracia is incredible. You see yesterday a couple of base hits yesterday, including a double for Gracia, who bunts. Hey, Gabby, I don't know that I had A.J. Gracia trying to bunt for a hit on the bingo card today, but 2 up, 2 down here in the Virginia first.
I don't think anybody had that in the bingo card, which is why he did it. See if you can surprise somebody, but you can't really do that when you have Tate McKee on the mound, just a very good athlete. Went to go get it, barehand that ball, get it over to first to get Gracia out.
2 up, 2 down for McKee here in the first. Joe Tiroli bats. The second baseman, transfer from Ryder, where he was the Metro Atlantic Conference Player of the Year a season ago. First pitch, takes a strike, it's 0-1. Tiroli, the Pennsylvania native, he's been a huge boost, especially when Virginia was without both A.J. Gracia and Eric Becker for about a 10-day stretch. Their best offensive performer was really Tiroli. And he's a key guy for me in Virginia's lineup. Maybe not as much today against the righty McKee, but with as left-handed as their lineup is, Tiroli's a guy that there's going to be a lot of attention on. Bouncer foul.
Well, you look at Tiroli on the season hitting .305. There's power there in the bat with 13 home runs. And you talk about all the lefties. So you need somebody in there to break that up. You also need somebody in there to be able to protect guys like Gracia, who are your big power hitters.
0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count now to Tiroli. Just underway on this very muggy Thursday morning. It is Thursday, right? We've run out of time is but a construct here at the ACC tournament this year. Tiroli pokes it into the left field. A 2-out single. Out in front, but kept the bat back long enough.
This is one of these 2 strike at bats where you're just in battle mode. Anything that you could get your bat to, get out there, just poke it out into left field. Not even a full swing, understanding, hey, just trying to put the ball in play. Good things are going to happen. Rolly gets a base hit out of it.
It's a 2-out base runner for Sam Harris. He is one of 7 Duke transfers on this roster for Virginia. If you're unfamiliar with Virginia's story, their longtime head coach, Brian O'Connor, left last offseason for Mississippi State. He won a national title at Virginia. He basically built Virginia's baseball program. It was a school that was ready to go Division III in baseball before they hired Brian O'Connor, and they've been one of the top programs in the country. That man, the Virginia native Chris Pollard, left Duke to take over UVA and brought his entire staff, most of his key players, and a couple of big recruits as well with him as he tries to get things going again in a place that he grew up going to games. A long underhand flip by McKee, and Schmidt couldn't handle it at first. What a strange decision by Tate McKee.
This is one that Tate McKee, for me, just got a little lazy. When you get this ball as a pitcher, you can see just stays flat-footed. You got to follow that throw if you want to do it, especially underhanded like that. You can see that he just flipped and stopped his momentum. If you're going to flip, you got to go one, have your momentum going towards first base as you're flipping that ball and keep that momentum going. He didn't. He stopped. It was short and couldn't get picked out of the dirt.
He was so far away to underhand toss that. An error, and now Harrison Didewick bats. Didewick had a really disappointing season a year ago for Virginia, and it led for him to return. He got off to a great start this year and has put together really quality at-bats. He is one of the key members of this Virginia team that held over. He and Eric Becker. That went down low. The count 1-1.
You got the Rally Cups going already. First inning.
See no evil, hear no evil. Why doesn't anybody have one on their mouth?
Where's the mouth?
As you can tell, Virginia really feeling the pressure of the ACC championship. 2-1. Didewick has power.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And an early visit from Matt Taylor, the pitching coach for Georgia Tech here. Trying to settle down McKee. It looked like it was going to be a relatively easy inning with a single, but the long underhand toss. I mean, that was like halfway from the front of the mound.
Look, and here's the thing. You see a lot of pitchers doing that. In college, you also see it in the big leagues and the minor leagues. The thing is that you just can't stop your momentum, and he didn't. When he caught this ball, I mean, he's having to throw this, I mean, basically from the mound. At that point, you got to at least start moving your body and continuing to go to first base as you're making this throw.
Or just toss it overhand.
Or you could just toss it overhand. But there's a lot of guys, though, that don't like throwing overhand in those situations because they really can't get there. They can throw a strike wherever you want over home plate. But to first base, all of a sudden, they get a little underhand and the ball will fly out on them.
Let me ask you this. Is that a data point that you're holding on to if you're Virginia thinking, hey, listen, does McKee have problems throwing to the bases?
Well, no, because what did he do against Gracia? He just made a play that way where he barehanded it and threw it perfectly over there. I think what it was is just kind of being lackadaisical on the mound, thinking, oh, I got this. This is a very easy play, and not realizing, hey, now it's your big situation here.
Well, he's created more work for himself on a very hot and humid day. He's even the count now, 2-2. Catch Schmidt at first. Playing behind the runner there. 2 aboard for Virginia in the first inning. The big shift on and the delivery. Didewick swings and misses, and the inning is over. The error just cost McKee a few pitches. We head to the bottom of the first. Virginia nothing. Georgia Tech coming back. Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets have been the best offense in the country, and Drew Burris been a star for 3 years. Taylor McGregor has more on the Yellow Jacket center field.
When you ask Drew Burris about himself, he says he's incredibly goal-oriented. So to remind himself of his goals at the beginning of the year, on the mirror in his bathroom, he wrote down his top 3. 1 was to graduate in 3 years. He checked that off. 2 is to be a first-round pick. He's projected to do so. And then number 3 is to get this team to Omaha. So he told me this weekend is all about trying to win the ACC, but they understand they have goals so much bigger than just this weekend, and he reminds his team every single day of the goals they set forth at the beginning of the year, Mike.
Yeah, it has been a long time since Georgia Tech has been to Omaha, but this definitely feels like one of the best teams that they have ever had, maybe since the Jason Veritek, Nomar Garcia-Parra, Jay Payton group. John Payon, the freshman, gets the start for Virginia. It's had a very interesting season for the Cavaliers.
Really, the thing is, it's a power arm. It's a really good fat sinker slider mix. So when you're looking at him, he kind of is going to work that east to west style. He's trying to tunnel those 2 pitches in to be able to get the swing and miss. You'll see a lot of sliders. About 44% of the time will be that slider. But that fastball is going to play. It's 90 to 95 miles an hour.
Carson Kearse will lead things off for Georgia Tech. You will see some absolutely astronomical numbers offensively from this Georgia Tech group. I mean, this is how deep they are. Kearse hit 8th for a good chunk of the year. And he is likely to be a top 2-round pick in the upcoming draft. And he has an OPS over 1,100.
Well, Mike, here's the thing. 1 through 9, they all have OPSs. It seems like over 1,000.
Kearse drives it deep and foul. Out of play. Kent Schmidt, their first baseman, won the batting championship in the ACC last year. He hit 6th. So this is an absolute star-studded lineup. And the first 5 guys, they are all ACC first-team performers. Kearse in the air to right center. Zach Jackson there, and the leadoff man gone to the Georgia Tech first. James Ramsey, former ACC Player of the Year in his first year as the head coach. There's Rammer. ACC Coach of the Year this year, former ACC Player of the Year at Florida State, led the Seminoles to Omaha in 2012. Former college roommate of our good friend and colleague Devin Travis. And he has recruited a lot of this team. As Burris hits, it takes a strike. It's 0-1. He was the top assistant to Danny Hall, who announced his retirement during last season to turn things over to Ramsey, one of the really impressive young coaches in college baseball. The 0-1. Burris takes low.
It's always scary, too, when you are going to be a new, head coach, and are the players going to stay or are they going to leave? Well, it was easy for Ramsey because he's the one that got all these players to come in and to commit. So, of course, all these guys were going to be able to stay, and then you just see the talent level on this team.
Fouled away. Into Burris's kitchen there. It's 1-2. Burris looked at his bat like he broke it.
When you look at what Payon is able to do on the mound, especially with that sinker-slider combo mix, it's powerful. I mean, he's coming right at guys. It's 95 miles an hour, a lot of movement. He stands on that third base side of the rubber.
Breaking ball cut on and missed. It gets away from the catcher, and reaching safely on the wild pitch is Burris. Base runner for Georgia Tech comes on the strikeout.
We talk about tunneling. So we talk about that sinker that's going to come in at 95, and he has that slider that's going to move away about 88 miles an hour. So as a hitter, you got to pick one side of the plate or not. But that slider there's going to play so much so that Weatherspoon's not able to come up with it. Ball gets behind him. Burris, though, what guys usually do in those situations, they get mad. He didn't. He understands it's baseball. It's going to happen. Gets himself over to first base on the wild pitch.
Burris can run a little bit.
Oh, yeah, he
stolen bases, too. Here's Jaron Advincula, the transfer from Cal. First pitch misses low, 1-0. There are a lot of people who feel like Advincula is the best pure hitter on this Georgia Tech team. And you see the gaudy numbers. He won the batting title in the ACC this year. The 1-0. On one hop to second. Just short for one. Becker's relay not in time. Advicula runs too well. 2 outs. It means in this first inning we'll get a chance to see maybe the most resurgent star in college baseball this year, Von Lackey.
I just love when you see a guy like Von Lackey and you see the growth from year in to year out. And a lot of scouts, that's what they're kind of looking for. How have you kind of progressed through your college career when you started to where you are now? I mean, he has exploded this year as a player.
Barely hit over 200 as a freshman. And I remember being here for the ACC championship 2 years ago at Charlotte. Aaron Fitt from D1Baseball.com, who's seen a lot of college baseball, stopped me before Georgia Tech's first game and said, you have to watch Lackey. This might be the best defensive catcher in the country right now as a freshman. And now, not only is he the ACC Defensive Player of the Year, but the bat has come along enough he is expected to be a top 5 pick. And even just from last year to this year, it was a really good year last year. But now, I mean, he makes a ton of contact in the strike zone. He makes great swing decisions. He has a chance to be special.
You look at the numbers that he had last year, and you're like, yeah, those are good numbers, especially for a catcher.
Bouncer to third. Noah Murray will throw out Lackey. And Payon posts a scoreless first. To the second, no score, Virginia and Georgia Tech, the first quarterfinal of the ACC championship.
The real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
3 weeks from Omaha. Let's take a look at the top 8 projected national seeds from D1Baseball.com. You see Georgia Tech, number 2, North Carolina, which will make their ACC Baseball Championship debut tomorrow. The defending tournament champions are projected as the 4 seed. Those top 4 teams in the country, to me, Gabby, are all legitimate threats to win the national championship. UCLA, Georgia Tech, Georgia, and North Carolina. And I think there's probably some other cases. I think maybe I would look a little bit further down the list to see some others, but I don't think there's any question at this point, whether it's the eye test or the metrics, that these are the best 4 teams in the country.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. You kind of, each of them have their own strengths. You look at Georgia Tech. They do have some good pitching, but it's their offense that is just going to wow people, the way that they're able to go out there 1 through 9, hit home runs. For me, UNC, it's the opposite, right? It's that pitching that is wow with their starters and their relievers.
Into center field, and Drew Burris, a sliding catch to retire Jake Witherspoon. And the leadoff man in the second. Drew Burris gets a lot of attention for the power. Watch his center field play, Gabby.
The thing is that everybody always talks about the hitting because the hitting is so good, but what he does in the outfield, it's that quick first step. Like on that play, he definitely didn't have to, dive to go get it. He actually got there pretty quickly and was able to make that play.
One out for Zach Jackson. He was one of the big stars for Virginia yesterday, throwing out a runner at the plate. That was an intense game through most of the first 6 innings. Virginia was able to get some distance once Aiden Weaver came out of the game for Duke, but Jackson had a huge hit and that great defensive play, and he's a guy that Chris Pollard kind of singled out in our discussion today as a guy that's become really important because of the opportunities that they've had.
There's always a guy in the lineup that at some point in the season you go, you know what, he really has helped us out more than what we were thinking was going to happen. And for me, Zach Johnson is that guy where what he's been able to do, you look at the average, it's not that great, but offensively, he's able to go out there, he's going to give you some good at-bats. There is some pop in that bat as well with the 8 home runs.
Takes just low. Count 2-2.
That's just a really good pitch there by Tate McKee. A good take as well by Jackson, understanding the strike zone.
Chases that one. Second strikeout for McKee, 2 outs.
Well, at first you don't succeed, try it again and see if you're going to be able to get that swing and miss. And here's the thing, too, as a hitter, you knew that you just took a very close pitch and thinking to yourself, well, if he throws that one again, I might have to go after it. Tate McKee, very smart, says, I'm going to throw it again, but it's not going to be in the same location, just a little bit lower.
Antonio Piranda, the first baseman, has battled a few injuries this year, but the Maryland native has been one of the emotional leaders of this Virginia team. Takes low, the count 1-1. We are probably going to spend a lot of time talking about Georgia Tech. I think there's a lot of people that are interested, if they haven't seen them yet, to be able to see the stars on this team. But this Virginia squad is really talented, and they are certainly capable of making a deep run in the tournament. Remember last year, Virginia was ranked 2nd coming into the year and then missed the NCAAs, but Chris Pollard had Duke in 4 of the last 8 super regionals. And this is a pretty talented team. They're not super deep, Gabby, but their high-end talent is as good as anybody. And now that their lineup is healthy again, like if you're a right-handed pitcher and you see Virginia pop up in your regional, pass.
And you're right. I mean, they have, good guys to be able to start games. They have, power arms in their bullpen as well. 1 through 9, I remember we saw them against Wake Forest. And I told you back then, I was like, this is a very deep kind of lineup. The at-bats that you're getting, even the bottom of the lineup, you're not seeing guys who are really swinging outside of the zone. They're putting balls in play. They're making pitchers work.
3-2 to Pirata, and he'll dribble it through the left side. A little shift beater with 2 strikes and 2 outs.
And this is what you got to love. You got 2 strikes on you. What are you going to do? Well, if you're going to give me that whole entire left side, I'm going to play pepper with this ball. How about an exit velo of 59 miles an hour? Just staying on it, just playing pepper, let it get deep. You want to give it to me? I'm going to go ahead and take it. And look at his fellows over there, the Who's loving it.
How many Celsiuses and Red Bulls do you think that bench has had for an 11 a.m. game? I mean, they played at 9 a.m. yesterday. I guess they got to sleep in today. Noah Murray hits. A junior transfer from Duke takes ball 1. The boys came to play today. Here's the set. And the 1-0.
You guys talking about Celsius. I'm in the Virginia dugout. They were drinking beet juice before the game. I guess it's become something they do before every game, almost like tradition. I heard it's terrible, so I was offered some. I happily declined.
Yeah, beets are terrible. Like, why would people eat beets? My dad tried to convince me that they tasted like candy, and that's the first time took issue with anything my dad ever told me.
They do taste like candy.
No, they
if you
don't.
put enough sugar in it. I would say, you're going to give me beet juice? Well, do you have a pound of sugar? But this is the other thing that I'm looking at, too. When you are looking at Georgia Tech and the overshifts, you already saw Virginia go, well, if you're going to give it to us, we're going to take it. Well, they have an overshift again where everybody's on that left side of the infield. That whole entire right side is open, and the reason, too, is Smith's having to hold on the runner. If I'm Virginia right now, I'm going to let that ball travel, get deep again. I'm going to just push it to that right side and get this thing going, get up to the top of the lineup.
Here's the 2-2. That was a ripped foul, third base side. Murray stays alive. Murray's numbers under 200 on the year, but as many walks as strikeouts. He walks a lot, and he also strikes out a lot. Trying to get the lineup turned over for the star shortstop, Eric Becker. 2-2 the count. And the count goes full. And the runner, Parada, will be on the move with 2 outs. No score, top of the second, the first of our quarterfinals. 2 today, 2 tomorrow here in Charlotte. Runner goes, payoff inside, ball 4. Murray walks, and 2 aboard with 2 outs again, and we turn things over to Eric Becker.
And this is exactly what Virginia wanted in this inning. Get somebody in scoring position for the top of the lineup. Eric Becker has been great this season. 7 home runs, 39 RBIs. Remember, too, he lined out his first AB, so he's ready to swing the bat. He's going to be aggressive, especially out over the plate.
First pitch to Becker, a strike. It's 0-1. We have spent some time on the Georgia Tech Stars. Becker is a potential first-round draft pick. He is a big, physical shortstop. And he has real power. Very aggressive. The kind of guy you want up in an RBI situation, and a chance for Virginia to get on the board early.
Not only that, there has been some struggle with Tate McKee against lefties this season. Lefties are hitting almost 100 points higher than righties, hitting 293 compared to 199. The OPS for lefties versus righties, 902 compared to 694.
Tapper foul. Well, that new
cutter
that he's got, I mean, I would have to think that that's trying to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, it was technically a slider prior. He changed up his grip a little bit, and now all of a sudden it's more of a cutter. That is all to try to help him out against lefties, because he is a guy that likes to tunnel certain pitches together, the cutter with the slider. He also has more of like a sweeper that's more of a slurve, that it kind of has a little bit more up and down.
Tried to hold up. He went around. Becker down on strikes, and McKee leaves a pair again here in the second. Tate McKee already with 3 punches through 1.5, no score.
Hey, welcome back to Truist Field. And one of the things that I want to kind of take a look at is John Payon on the mound and kind of things that he's changed. And it's been basically about a month ago where they decided to take him from the first base side of the rubber and move him over to the third base side of the rubber. And it has really helped him out, especially throwing a lot more strikes, getting the ball in the zone. Not only that, giving him different angles with that slider that he throws. It's going to now play almost behind a right-handed batter rather than when he was on that first base side, you were able to see it out of his hand a lot easier. It's been working for him ever since he's made that move.
0-1 to the leading home run hitter for Georgia Tech, Ryan Zuckerman. And the pit transfer dumps that one into right field for a leadoff single.
And to your point, I was talking to pitching coach Drew Dickinson, who told me they really noticed that he was landing harder on his front foot when he moved to the third base side of the rubber, which has really allowed for command, and they feel like just more consistency. So as you mentioned, a lot about creating angles, but also command, which allows for more strikes, and that's a good thing, Mike.
Yeah, really good conversation. I get to eavesdrop on that today with Virginia's pitching coach Brady Kirkpatrick about the shapes that they have. And that's, so this staff at Virginia now that came from Duke, they are unbelievably tech and data savvy. And I think Brady Kirkpatrick's one of the more underappreciated pitching coaches in the country. Chris Pollard is a pitcher too, so he understands pitching really well. And I think there's some things that they do that are really unique. I mean, we saw it with those Duke bullpens.
Yeah.
You know, one of the reasons Duke had success is that they were not afraid to run shorter outings, and Chris Pollard understood how to manage the game well, and he and Kirkpatrick do just a tremendous job on the pitching side of creating matchups that they need. A liner into right field by Schmidt, a base hit. Zuckerman to second, and Georgia Tech has the first two aboard here with nobody out.
And this is when it really gets tough when you're facing a team like Georgia Tech. This is not a bad pitch. It's working its way in and down to the lefty and Schmidt, but he's able to get his hands in through the zone and drive it to right field. And now you look up as a pitcher in Payon going, okay, they got man on first and second already. This will happen quickly.
Alex Hernandez, who has had an inconsistent sophomore season, takes a ball outside. 1-0, but he has some of the most talent in this lineup. He was the ACC Freshman of the Year a season ago. He only has a 985 OPS.
Yeah, it's funny too, because when it's like he's had an up and down season, we say that because for the most part of the season he was hitting over 400, and he was leading this team in hitting, especially early on in the season. And then you're going to have your ebb and flows, just like every player is going to have. So it's kind of like figuring out, okay, this is what pitchers have done to make the adjustment. Now I have to make the adjustment on them.
The 1-1. Hernandez takes a strike at the count 1-2. Big early spot here for the top seed, the ACC regular season champ. Back-to-back ACC regular season championships for Georgia Tech. The set. And here comes the 1-2. Inside. That's a really good take on a front door breaking ball through it too.
That's the pitch that Payon is able to throw now because of where he stands on the rubber. That front door slider to a righty, where before that pitch would be more down the middle because of where he's releasing it. Now to a hitter it's like, oh, that's going to be in, and a lot of times he's able to wrap it around.
Oh, he chased that fastball off the plate for out number 196. Almost like he made up his mind he was going to swing right away.
This is 96 miles an hour. He just threw a slider down and in on you. Then he goes away with a good sinker. You go ahead and chase it. You're Alex Hernandez.
That's one of the reasons, too, where Alex Hernandez, where you talk about those, ebb and flows of the season early on, we didn't see him swinging at those types of pitches.
Will Baker, the designated hitter, the sophomore, waits and takes a strike. On an off-speed pitch, it's 0-1. Baker, Australian. You talk to some coaches around the league, and they'll tell you this is the toughest guy to pitch to in the Georgia Tech lineup. He hits 8th. I mean, how can you not be impressed by this group?
It's good. It's a good 1 through 9, that's for sure. I mean, as a team, they have over 1,000 OPS. Like, you don't see that in baseball.
Bouncer back to the mound. Peon to second for 1. On to first, and he gets out of the first and second jam. Peon and the Cavaliers fired up. We head to the third, no score. Excellent defense from Peon.
Peon does it himself, the pitcher's best friend. The 1-6-3 double play.
Welcome back here to Charlotte, joined now by Georgia Tech head coach James Ramsey. You guys have been the best offense in the country. You've had runners on, just unable to capitalize. What have you thought of the approach early?
Yeah, I think it's just you're easing into it. You're getting your first AB look against a guy that gets a lot of ground balls. You know, he throws the ball with a little bit of an east-west profile. So overall, we'll settle in. We'll cash in with runners in scoring position like we've done all year.
We've talked about McKee adding a new weapon to his arsenal. How do you feel like that's allowed him to attack hitters?
Yeah, it's just continued growth. Every time out as a competitor, you can change what you do and kind of ride the hot hand against a right or lefty heavy team. And right now you're seeing some different stuff from him today that you did last week.
Thank you, Coach. Mike?
All right, Taylor, thank you very much. James Ramsey, the first-year head coach, ACC Coach of the Year for Georgia Tech. And this muggy, well, it's still morning in Charlotte. A.J. Gracia hits and takes a strike. It's 0-1. Gracia was sidelined earlier this season with an injury, and he is a very, very patient hitter, Gabby. And lines that one into left field, a base hit. It's always good when you describe somebody as a very patient hitter and they swing at the next pitch.
It's always great. We talk, he's usually very patient, and then all of a sudden becomes very aggressive. One of the other things you got to start looking at if you're Georgia Tech is going, you might want to leave your guys exactly where they're at. You're making these guys a lot better hitters, too. You want to give me the opposite way, let that ball travel. Okay, I'll take away those off-speed pitches and stay back and drive these balls.
They really are, especially the left-handed hitters. Using the offside of the field, they're willing to take what McKee gives them. Swing and a miss. Count 0-1.
And again, just doing it as we speak. Everybody on that left side, leaving that whole entire right of the field open.
In on Tiroli's hands, it's 0-2.
Now, in doing this, though, if you're Tate McKee on the mound, you got to look at it and say, well, if I'm going to have everybody on that side of the field, well, I can't really utilize that cutter away or that slider away, because then guys are going to be able to easily just go that way with it. So now you're going to have to really try to open up that front side to a right-handed hitter.
A hold in the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He gets Tiroli on strikes, 1 out.
And that's what happens when you open up that front side, where you're able to go off the plate away with that slider. Guys are going to be looking out there. You're going to be able to get the swing and miss. It doesn't happen if you're not attacking that inside part of the zone. That is an unhittable pitch where he's throwing it. It's beautiful by Tate McKee. There's a reason why he's the #1 for Georgia Tech.
Has been for 3 years. They thrust him into that role as a freshman. He probably wasn't quite ready for it, but he learned a lot. He has been, Lackey took that in an uncomfortable place. It's 0-1, but McKee has been a guy that has grown and grown and grown. And when people talk about Georgia Tech, there's this feeling, they don't have enough pitching. I don't know if they have enough pitching. I've heard analysts that I respect say that, and yet you look at their numbers, and they've been pretty good in conference play against the best competition, and they're in the top 5 in the league in ERA. And a lot of it, to me, starts with McKee. When he's on his game, I mean, he can be he eats right-handers. Watch.
Well, the other thing is, too, if you're pitching for Georgia Tech, you know that your lineup is going to be able to score, 10 runs a game.
And think about it, too. Like, okay, those numbers are elevated maybe a touch on their pitching, but they're also playing one of the most offensive ballparks in the country. And I get that there's a lot of those in the ACC, but that affects the numbers too. They can't all be the 2023 Wake Forest pitching staff. You know what I mean? Like,
that was incredible.
Yeah, that was.
Because that ballpark is you talk about a home run park. My goodness.
5th in the ACC in ERA, 4th in just about every other important category. Maybe a few more walks than Matt Taylor would want, but it's not a lack of stuff, and it's not a lack of depth in the pitching ranks for Georgia Tech either.
That right there is winning all the games. That's the point. Like, as a pitcher, you can come out, and if you make a mistake and somebody hits a home run, it's not as hard for a pitcher to take in because he's like, oh, well, you know what? It doesn't matter. My team is going to be able to score a whole bunch of runs anyways. So now you pitch with a little bit more ease and more relaxation. Pitcher on the mound throwing with some relaxation, they're going to be a lot better than being tense.
Down it in, the count is full. But this is the spot that we really had circled because this is not, on paper, McKee's best matchup. As left-handed as Virginia is, he's got his hands full with them. Here comes the payoff. Swing and a miss. That was a good downer slider almost, 2 outs.
It's got to be the curveball because I feel like he had a strikeout on Eric Becker with the curveball. I feel like that's the same exact pitch that he's starting to utilize a little bit more against left-handed hitters. You talked about it, 6 lefties in the lineup for Virginia. There's a reason why they're there, not only because that's who they have, but all of a sudden you start to face a guy like Tate McKee who usually technically struggles against lefties. You're thinking that all of a sudden now Virginia is going to be able to come out and, score a bunch of runs. The problem that you have there is that you got a guy on the mound in Tate McKee who is confident. He's done it for 3 years. He knows exactly what he wants to do and how he goes about getting guys out.
I think one of the things that's interesting in this, too, is that both staffs had to do more work, even though that these are starters that have been in the rotation all year. McKee coming off a 14 strikeout performance with that new cutter slider that he has. Payon moving on the rubber. His pitches look different. You heard James Ramsey talk about it being different. So interesting the adjustments that we're seeing teams have to make in season here. And this feels like, at least with McKee, like in the big leagues, you see a guy out of pitch and he's able to get to it pretty quickly, and he's been effective with it so far. Well, the pitch count not super efficient to this point. And a long second inning. He's behind Didewick, 2-1. Snap throw to first, and diving back is Gracia.
And there's a reason why we talk about Von Lackey, one being the defensive ACC player of the year, but it's that.
It's controlling the running game, being a catcher, where guys not wanting to take off on you because they understand that you're about a 1.8 to a 1.85 to second base. You have an absolute cannon behind, but now you can't really even take that big of a secondary because of him throwing behind runners.
The 3-1, swing and a miss. A good changeup there, and the inning is over. A 3-2 changeup. Drew Burris due up third for Georgia Tech in this scoreless game.
Well, you want hot prospects. We certainly have them in this game. You look at Von Lackey, Drew Burris, AJ Gracia, and Eric Becker, all projected to be picked very high in this year's Major League Baseball draft. And there's something the four of them have in common. They all played on a Team USA together last year, made the long trip over to Japan. And before the game, I was talking to Eric Becker about that. He told me I sat right next to Von Lackey on a plane in coach for 12 hours. So that will bond you really quick.
Wait, did Eric Becker have to have the middle seat?
I didn't ask about the middle seat, but just the fact that they were in coach, and I was told the very last row, oh, by the way. So I was like, what did you do to pass time? There was a lot of vlogging, which we need to find the video of that at some point, and then a lot of playing cards, but then just loving the game of baseball overall.
So Eric Becker is 6'3", Von Lackey is 6'2". Gabby, you are tall. How would you feel about 12 hours in coach? I'm assuming when you played in Japan that you at least got business class, right?
I did. I got first class. Come on now. Put it up there.
Well, I wasn't going to try and make you seem immodest.
But I will say that we still do coach right now, and I always get the window seat. I don't want to get up.
Oh, must be nice to not have to get up in the middle of a flight, young man. Parker Brocious, I think you could call him the most valuable 10th man in college baseball. This is just his 19th start of the year, but his 47th game. Generally, he's been a platoon player for Georgia Tech, and he absolutely rakes lefties. He and Caleb Daniel have split time at the corner outfield spot. Brocious rips it foul, but he is a very good pinch hitter. He's a very good hitter overall, and I think there's probably, half or more of the ACC teams that he'd take every plate appearance for?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's really fun to have a guy that you're kind of platooning who's hitting 333 with 8 home runs on the season, not getting everyday playing time. And it's not easy to be that type of player where you're not getting those consistent everyday at-bats. I guarantee you that there's a bunch of teams in the ACC, SEC, any time of CC that would love to have this guy as their everyday player.
He's taking anything that ends in a C.
Anything that ends in a C.
2-2 the count to Brocious. No, you weren't even the one that was up all night and you're already making jokes about conference letters. Come on now. 2-2. And the count goes full to Brocious.
You act like I wasn't texting you all last night.
I mean, not all last night.
Well, until about the 7th inning.
Yeah, those toes were up at midnight last night.
Then the eyes started to close.
Last game last night ended just about 2 a.m. Eastern time, and right back at it today. As Brocious hits it to third and foul. That was close.
Very close.
From here, Gabby, it looked like it was fair. That's a tough angle, though.
We got a different angle. No,
definitely foul. Okay.
Well,
again,
we do have a different angle.
Eyesight might be a bit affected by.
Like
I do have
hours of sleep.
Our crew here,
is
and
incredible.
especially all of our camera operators who worked every game the last 2 days. Tape operators, everybody deserves a ton of praise. They have not slept in 2 days. They must love their jobs and love baseball because they have done incredible work. And worst of all, they've had to put up with me.
And there's no coffee left anywhere.
No, because I drank it all. And what I didn't drink, Virginia's bench apparently had, because they're still
rolling.
hanging on the rail. Oh, it'll be young again. Here comes the 3-2. Brocious pops it up. It's the second baseman, Tiroli, who'll make the catch, and the leadoff man gone in the Georgia Tech third. All ACC is here. Stick around after the final out. Got you covered with highlights, reaction, and analysis. Danny Graves currently just out of sight behind that post. They are live for the ACC Baseball Championship. Rest of the tournament, catch it on the ACC Network and streaming on the ESPN app. Jason Spells, Danny Graves. Saw Jason for a brief minute this morning.
Danny Graves ain't out there. He's
No,
somewhere
Danny
in
just
air
texted and said,
conditioning.
"We're not there, man."
He's in air conditioning
Oh,
somewhere.
really, Danny? We couldn't tell from the photo. Yeah, been obvious over there. Cursed curse. And he slugs that one to right. It is deep, and it is gone! Into the home run porch in right field. It's 1-0 Georgia Tech. There's not a whole lot of right-handed hitters that are going to go to that spot.
Well, I'll tell you what, that ball came in at 95 and left at 102. And there's not many times that a guy will hit a home run opposite field, and as soon as he hits it, knows that it's out of here. This is what we talk about this Georgia Tech lineup, top to bottom. That was the 9th home run of the year for Carson Curse, and the way he hits it too, letting that ball travel, just using the hands to get to that baseball and hit it out, and look where he hit it too, right into the home run porch.
Drew Burris bats, 1-0 Georgia Tech. And he smacks one into left center field. It'll split the gap and go to the wall. Drew Burris with a one-out double. And the Yellow Jackets keeping the pressure on here in the third.
Well, Mike, you talk about one time through the lineup against Georgia Tech for a pitcher. Might have the advantage being able to throw his pitches. Second time through, you got to make adjustments. This is a fastball at 95 against Burris, able to stay through it, and he knew it right away as soon as that ball was getting down that he was going to be able to make it to second. And I guarantee you that he had the thought where I can maybe even turn this into a triple because he was running hot out of the box.
Brady Kirkpatrick out to visit with Payon. Virginia pitching coach. In his first year, I always love talking pitching with Brady. He's really good.
And I think what they're trying to talk to him about too with Payon on the mound is, hey, you've got to be able to control that inside part of the plate. You can't just leave everything out over to this team and all of a sudden let them get extension. You've already seen what happens to fastballs out over the plate. One left the yard, the other one was a double in the gap. So just like he did the first time through the lineup, control that inside part of the plate with the fastball, utilize that outside with your breaking pitches.
And here's Advincula, who won the batting title in the ACC this year, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. You've seen the power in this lineup. Curse, who's underrated, probably a top 2 round pick. Burris, a top 10 pick. Advincula, likely a first rounder. There are no breaks at the top of this Georgia Tech lineup. Heck, there's no breaks at the bottom of it either. Upstairs, 1-1. Take a look at the top hitters in the country. And you see Advincula right ahead of Golden Spikes candidate Landon Hairston of ASU. Here comes the 1-1. Slap foul, 1-2. Advincula is not a guy that consistently smashes the ball, but as you see, leads Division I in hitting and hits, and he is going to use the middle of the field. He's kind of the perfect guy in this spot.
It's the bat-to-ball skills. And look, I love Kylie McDaniel, but I have a feeling that this guy might be a top 20 pick in the MLB draft.
Runner goes for third. Advincula bounces it to short. Burris will hold on to the bag as Becker throws him out for out number 2.
Very nice job, too, of Becker understanding what's in front of him. Advincula, a guy that can run. That ball gets chopped right in front of home plate. What does he do? Charges right away because he understands if he stays back at all, even one step, you're not going to be able to get Advincula out. So as soon as this ball hit, what does he do? I'm coming straight forward. I need to get this ball in the air or quick short hop and get it over to first.
Vaughn Lackey, the cleanup hitter, bats. First pitch. Takes outside, 1-0. Lackey a chance to tack out a run with a 2-out hit. Georgia Tech very good in these situations. They don't care how many outs, they don't care how many strikes, they can still hit. They put together good quality at bats. 1-1.
These are the situations too with a guy like Vaughn Lackey where you're like, you have a base open, you know, You don't have to throw him strikes. You might see if he may want to expand on you.
Yeah, good luck.
But then you have the next guy who comes up who leading the team. Like, there's no room to be able to just walk guys.
Foul back. It's 1-2. Yeah, the guy behind Lackey is the team leader in home runs, Ryan Zuckerman, who's first team All-ACC as well. So he's a little more aggressive, but man, the power is super loud for the Pitt transfer.
Right, so you can't just go up there with Von Lackey understanding the guy's hitting 400. Oh, we can just let him go. No, because the guy behind him, all of a sudden it's a 3-run homer.
Burris dancing down third as Lackey takes outside 2-2. Burris trying to get in the line of sight of Payon.
Yeah, seeing if he can kind of get him to balk and maybe get a free run.
Two. And the count is full. That's the other thing. Lackey's not going to go outside the strike zone very often. So you have to be careful with your Payon, but you also have to throw him a strike.
I mean, or you're going to pick and choose your battle. And if you feel like, you have a better chance against Zuckerman, then you can see if you can chase here on maybe a slider away.
Tried to hold up, he went around. Lackey down on strikes, and the inning is over. Georgia Tech gets the lead thanks to Carson Gers. This is going backside. A casual flip away, and the Yellow Jackets lead 1-0 as we go to the fourth. Five punches already for Tate McKee, the starter for Georgia Tech. Struck out the side after a leadoff single in the third. She's 6 strikeouts. I can count. 4, 5, 6. There we go. Had a very good breaking ball. He has been ahead. This is the 15th hitter he's faced. First pitch strike to 11 hitters so far. First pitch is a strike there, so it's 12 of 15. And I mean, you want to know why he's having success and punching guys out. It's that, right? Yeah. Like he's 0-1 on everybody.
It's get ahead early. That's the thought process. Get ahead early and then see if the hitters will expand the zone because you are throwing so many strikes.
Inside, 2-1.
There's also something we said, too, that he has about 19 pitches and he can throw them all for strikes. So all of a sudden, as a hitter, you always want to add and subtract pitches, right? He has this curveball, but we're not going to go to it because he's not throwing it for a strike, or the slider because it's not for a strike. Well, he has shown already that he can command every single one of those pitches for strikes. So now all of a sudden, as a hitter, instead of saying, eliminate pitches, now I have to look at certain sides of the plate. And when you're looking away, he will pound you in.
Well, he just walked the leadoff man here in the fourth.
Well, on Tate's glove, he has the word confidence. He told me this goes back to freshman year when he was struggling. He said, I didn't have confidence, and I started to realize how important the mental side of this game was. He said you can always go back to the old adage, what comes first, success or confidence? But for him, he believes confidence is the first thing that has to come in order for him to have success. And so that's a reminder to him on his glove to always lead with his own confidence.
Yeah, and I would agree with him 100%. Confidence all of a sudden will build that success. You have confidence on the mound, especially with your pitches. You're throwing it where you want, you're going to have success. Where pitchers start to really have trouble is like he did his freshman year, where he was thinking, am I good enough to be that Friday guy that they had thrusted upon him to go out there and face another number one?
Zach Jackson now ahead in the count 2-0. Jackson, a strikeout victim his first time. Virginia trying to answer after Georgia Tech got the lead on the Carson Curse opposite field homer. And Von Lackey and Matt Taylor are going to make the long, slow walk out to the mound to visit with McKee. He's kind of looking at his hand there.
A blister, or maybe what happens too a lot of times with pitchers, is when they're throwing certain pitches, they will get a rub, especially with the nail. That's why a lot of pitchers, they have to make sure that they keep their nails nice and clean and make sure that there's no sharp parts, because all of a sudden that can happen. Another thing, it could be a blister where it is toasty out. You get a lot of, sweat on the hands. You get a lot of rubbing. So they're taking a look at that because they do not want it to get it worse.
This is what McKee did before this inning, and this breaking ball has been very good today.
It's a weird breaking ball. It's not really a true up and down curveball. It has a little bit of tilt to it, more of a slurve. But it's been working. And then you put that along with the other pitches, because he is able to throw the changeup. He does have a sinker that he's able to run in. He is throwing that cutter now. So he has a lot of east to west off the plate, and then he can tunnel certain pitches that he wants to utilize on the mound with those.
Hey, this is a kind of big spot for Georgia Tech here because, listen, McKee is as important as anybody. And not to diminish the importance of the ACC baseball championship, but Georgia Tech has bigger fish to fry.
Right, and that's the point that I was going to get to with you. It was, do you want him to continue to throw if all of a sudden you can stop him now and then you don't have a problem next week when you're going and you're hosting a regional?
Dylan Loy beginning to get loose in the Georgia Tech pen. McKee's going to throw a couple others. He doesn't look very comfortable.
There's no way I am letting him continue. If I'm James Ramsey, I'm saying, listen, I love the competitiveness out of you, and I love this, but we want you next week to be completely healthy. And if you continue to throw here, all you're going to do is just make it worse. It's going to continue to open up.
It looked like it was on his fourth finger, his ring finger on his right hand is what he was looking at.
Yeah.
So something under the ball, and he is going to call it here today at 65 pitches.
That's the right move. That's 100% the right move. Get him out. Make sure that now you're able to kind of take care of that situation that he has working there. Understand, hey, why was that happening, right? Where was the rub coming off? So that way you can address it and move forward. But the last thing that you want, if they needed to win to get in, he would still be pitching.
Dylan Loy will come in for Georgia Tech with a 2-0 count, and the Yellow Jackets leading Virginia 1-0. We are in Charlotte, North Carolina, but breaking news a couple of hours away in Raleigh today. Elliott Avent has announced that he will retire at the end of this season, his 30th at the helm of the NC State Wolfpack. The 70-year-old Avent has led NC State to 3 Omaha appearances in his career. They are currently on the bubble as we see some of the metrics supporting them. Let me just say, I'm happy that Elliott got to choose when he wanted to walk out, but I am so bummed for us because, man, there's no better person. Nobody loves college baseball, loves people and players, and cares more about them than Elliott does. And gosh, we're so much better for knowing him, and I'm so sad that he's leaving, but I'm really happy for him.
Very happy for him to be able to retire and go on vacation, not have to worry about making calls to players. But he's going to miss that because he loved that so much. You talk about a guy that, remembers everything. And remembers, 25 years ago when I played against him on certain plays in certain situations. He is such a great baseball person. College baseball will miss him for sure. We will miss him. But man, I wanted him to at least have one more year. I wanted him to go out understanding where everybody knew it was his last year so he can have his grand hurrah.
But I don't think he wanted that.
He didn't want it. He didn't want to make it about him.
Dylan Loy is on. The transfer from Tennessee has been a really key bullpen member for Georgia Tech this year. You see the numbers from the left-hander. And this is kind of advantageous, I guess. He walks into a 2-0 count with a man on base, nobody out here in the 4th inning. But Loy is tough on lefties, and there's a lot of left-handed hitting in Virginia. Virginia knows they're not going to be as good against left-handed pitching as they are against righties. They just don't have enough depth, but they're going to have to put together some quality at-bats against a very good lefty reliever. The 2-0 pitch misses high to Jackson in the count 3-0.
You look at it, there's a reason why Dylan Loy is coming into this ball game. Very good against left-handed hitter, good against both. Batting average of .237 against him. He will utilize that cutter and fastball against left-handed hitters. But the thing with him is you don't really see him walking too many guys. He's more into attack mode when he's going up against hitters.
Loy was a key member of Tennessee's national championship team in 24. He actually pitched for the college national team that summer. Pitched in 2 of the 3 finals games in Omaha in their first national championship. He has been in the rotation some. Saturday has been a little bit of a revolving door for Georgia Tech, but he really has found a role in the bullpen. And he's run the count full to Jackson. That one fouled away. And Jackson stays alive. Getting the news today, just coming down a few minutes ago, Elliott Avent announcing his retirement at the end of this season as the head coach of NC State. Here's a 3-2. Called strike 3. Seamer King back to the corner for out number 1.
And that's a pitch that he will utilize too to try to get a ground ball. So a situation where you have guys on the other side of the infield, he's going to utilize that sinker. He's able to throw it, ends up getting the strikeout looking, but I don't see him changing anything here. It's going to be the same type of concept with him against left-handed hitters. He'll utilize that four-seam fastball. He'll throw that little bit of a cutter, and off that cutter, he'll also throw the slider.
Breaking ball inside, it's 1-0. It's that last pitch. Locking up Jackson.
Yeah, probably thinking maybe he's going to throw me the cutter on 3D. He likes to throw the cutter, especially against lefties. Nope. Here's the fastball.
Antonio Parada pops it up, fouling on play. 1-0 Georgia Tech in the 4th. 2 games today following this one, scheduled at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Boston College and Miami play our second quarterfinal. out at Donato's club. 17 wins, a school record in the ACC for Boston College against UM. That went high and count 2-1. Miami was one win from Omaha a year ago. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball hammered to right, way back and gone. Antonio Parada clips a hanging breaking ball. It's 2-1 Hoos. Well, you want to attack Virginia with left-handed pitching, but Parada making Lloyd pay for the mistake.
That's the 5th home run he has given up to a lefty so far this year, and Parada jumped all over it. You want to hang that breaking ball that I've been looking at? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and deposit this to right field for a 2-run homer to take the lead.
Virginia with their home run chain around Parada's neck. And the number 9 hitter, Murray, has always hit lefties well at plate.
Just right on the breaking pitch. When you see it up, you got to let it fly. Does exactly that, barrels that baseball onto the street. This ball's just struck. See you later. Watch out, cars.
I don't think they can hear you.
They're watching.
You think that driving around Charlotte, windows down, and get the game on? That's what we appreciate.
They had the glove as they were coming by, made a catch, take off and go.
Alex Hernandez didn't even move in right field. He was like, yep, that's out of here.
It's a big chain.
You should really have to play first base with the chain. That should be one of the requirements. Murray takes strike 3, 2 outs. After the home run, Loy gets Murray into the top of the order with Eric Becker. Becker 0 for 2. James Ramsey's club going to have to play from behind now. First pitch. Becker takes inside. It's 1-0. Here's the set. The 1-0. Bouncer back towards the middle, and it's gloved by the shortstop Kurz, who will throw him out, and the inning is over. Antonio Parada gives Virginia the lead, hammering that breaking ball onto the street. 2-1 Virginia. New times tomorrow with impending weather. We will start again at 11 a.m. Eastern time for North Carolina and Virginia Tech. Florida State and Pitt will be at 3 p.m. Eastern. So game times moving up mañana for the second day of quarterfinals here at the ACC Baseball Championship. Ryan Zuckerman will lead off for Georgia Tech. And he fouls the first pitch back. It's 0-1. Zuckerman is your classic power hitter. There are a ton of strikeouts, and there is just a ton of pull side yammo. I believe yammo is the word I'm looking for.
Sure. I mean, everybody has their own home runs that they say.
Which is your preference?
Yard.
It's so boring.
I'm a
I
boring
expected
guy.
better out of you.
I'm a boring dude.
Not even bridge?
Bridge? Where are we at?
Going bridge?
Are we in Pittsburgh?
No, I don't know where it came from. I just know that's a term. There's the Yammo porch. That's the football stadium.
That looked like a bridge for a second.
20 home runs might be money in the bank for Ryan Zuckerman in the draft as he's called out on strikes. And the leadoff man going to the Georgia Tech fourth.
Really fun to see a freshman on the mound and pay on and being able to watch him work. Last inning, gives up a home run. Next pitch gives up a double, is able to get out of that inning without giving up another. And then all of a sudden comes back this inning, more relaxed, utilizing his pitches. Hey, this is a freshman that doesn't look like he's pitching like a freshman.
Kent Schmidt, the hitter. Already a base hit today. Count 2-0. Schmidt, very good pure hitter. Not a ton of power, but he's kind of a nice balance in this lineup because he's just really good. Transfer from Georgia Southern. Takes a breaking ball strike. It's 2-1. This time at the beginning of this season with injury, just about 20 games. An Atlanta kid, went to Pope High School. That breaking ball missed in 3-1. Just a ton of movement on it. Three and one the count. And the count goes full.
It's the tunnel for me. The sinker slider mix, and it's coming out hard, 92, 95. Has that slider that's going to work into the lefties.
Inside ball 4. Kent Schmidt draws a walk.
That one just overcooked it just a little bit too much. Wanted to try to get that slider in there. Just released it a little bit too far out in front. Ball got away from him.
So the tying runs aboard for Alex Hernandez.
Right now with Hernandez up, I feel like he should be getting a whole bunch of sinkers in. Try to get that ground ball double play.
First pitch, check swing strike, it's 0-1. He starts him with a breaking ball away. That kind of feels like he's setting him up for that sinker in, right?
He went slider away, ends up getting the call. Now you can come sinker in, and you can just kind of add and subtract staying in that tunnel area.
Okay, so take me through his mindset at the plate in this. So he doubles up on the breaking ball there. Are you splitting the plate in half? Like, how are you looking at this?
It's you have to do one or the other. When you have a pitcher who has the tunnel and it's east to west, you either look out over the plate or you're going to look in. So you basically are saying, if you throw me a slider out over the plate, I'm going to take it because I'm going to be looking in if I'm looking for sinker. If I'm looking for something out over the plate, I could still hit that fastball. So that's what I would do. If I was hitting against Payon, I'm not looking in. It's going to be too hard of a pitch to try to get, right? Because now you become a one-pitch type pitcher against this type of guy on the mound where you're only looking in. I would look more out over the plate, see if he can hang that slider to me, but still be able to hit the fastball that he leaves out over the plate.
That was Hernandez. Thought that was a little high. And the count 2-2.
I understand what he's saying, but boy, that's a good pitch to
I was
hit.
going to say, it was like, I'm surprised he didn't swing out of his shoes. I mean, if he was looking the way you were talking about, he would have been all over that. He takes a breaking ball away and the count is full.
And that's what makes it hard with a sinker slider type pitcher, because you really have to cut the plate in half and say, I'm going to give you, you have to give something to get something. And that's how it is as a hitter. I'll give you in, but if you leave me something out over or leave me a slider that's up in the zone there, I'm going to make you pay.
Schmidt away from first. He runs the pitch. A little floater over the head of a leaping Becker into center field. Schmidt races to third, and Georgia Tech has him at the corners of the one out.
Oh, just got enough of it. If that exit velo was 70 rather than 72, it's a double play. But just gets enough to get over the head of Becker, who extended as far out as he possibly could to see if he could make that play.
You wonder if the Georgia Tech hitters were having beet juice too. You know, one more beet juice for breakfast and get the 2 extra miles an hour on it.
There's got to be something better than beet juice.
Pickle juice? Isn't that what they're doing now too?
It is, apparently.
Yeah, it's got salt in it, I think. Will Baker bats. Tying run at third with one out. And the first pitch, a changeup that misses low. It's 1-0. There's Schmidt walking down the line with his head coach, third base coach, James Ramsey. The 1-0. A high strike again with a breaking ball. Boy, the Georgia Tech hitters have not liked those last couple calls.
I get it, but you got to make an adjustment if you're a hitter at this point. And we've seen it actually in this tournament a whole bunch. The pitch that is being called more is the pitch that is up. The one that is not is the pitch down. So right, so if you're going to get the pitches down, well, hey, now I have to expand a little bit more up.
2-1.
You can't continuously get mad when an umpire has now shown you his zone. So if he's shown you up, hey, I'm gonna call a strike up, but I'm not going to call the strike down. They understand that and know that. Now you've got to change how you're looking at it.
Big pitch here. And another high strike. And Baker that time just kind of rolled his eyes, but knew it was going to get called. I don't know. I mean, that one kind of tied him up a little. Not much you could do with that.
It's not a bad pitch to hit either.
Yeah.
You know, those are the ones that you're looking for. You're looking for those secondary pitches that are left up in the zone.
Changeup misses low.
Doesn't call that one, right? So I'm going to maybe go a ball up, but I'm going to take it from the bottom.
You're talking about hitters giving something to an east-west pitcher. I mean, an umpire is going to give you something, right? Yeah. If they're going to call the high strike, they're not going to call the low. If they're going to call out, they're not going to call in. See if the runner at first is on the move here with one out. He is. And the 3-2 misses, and the bases are loaded for Parker Brocious with one out in the fourth. A 22-pitch inning for the freshman Payon. And one thing to keep in mind, and it was something that Chris Pollard was very, very cognizant of, the Virginia coach for the game. It is hotter than the Dickens right now. And this is not your typical now 22-pitch inning. It probably feels more like 32 pitches to Payon. Brocious, the number 9 hitter. First pitch, fouled away by the senior. It's 0-1.
I like that too by Brocious. Just be more aggressive. Get something that's out over the plate. In this situation, you got to lift that ball into the air. You do not want to hit a ground ball. So you're not trying to pull the ball either. You're going to try to stay inside of this sinker, or you're looking for something out over with the breaking ball to drive to right center.
Outside, 1-1. Carson Curse waits on deck. He has Georgia Tech's lone run on an opposite field homer. Pitch number 25 of the inning incoming for the right-handed Payon. 1-2. I haven't seen him go north-south with the fastball very often, but it was a pretty well-located pitch. Kind of tilting the axis. See him work north to south here a little bit.
I mean, try to change eye level to now go with the slider away is what my thought process is.
The 1-2. He does go to the slider away, but got underneath it, and the count evens.
Yeah, a little underneath it, a little bit over round. So actually that ball stayed flat as it went through the zone. What we've seen from him staying on top is he has that little bit of a tilt to get the swing and miss. Be careful with that, because if you leave that over the plate, that's a good home run ball.
2-2. That one to first, knocked down by Parada. It'll knock in a run as he takes the out at first. And this game is tied at 2. Play by Parada to knock that one down. 2 in scoring position for this man, Carson Curse.
And Curse, the last time he came up, he was going to be aggressive. Got a fastball out over the plate, went Oppo Taco on him. Now you have a situation where you do have a base open, but you don't want to get to Drew Burris. So right now, if I'm Carson Curse, I know I'm going to get a good pitch to hit. I just can't miss it.
Curse, the more you watch him play, the more impressed you get. His baseball instincts are outstanding. His at-bats are very good. And he squares the bunt there, trying to take advantage of the third baseman playing deep as he takes a strike.
I love it, too, because you're a guy that can run. You have guys who are playing a little bit deeper, not expecting you to go up there with 2 outs and lay a bunt down, a drag bunt down that third base line. So, hey, if you're going to give it to me, I can go ahead and do that.
The 0-1. A strike at the knees, and the count nothing at 2.
You have a couple of pitches that you can utilize here to try to set up for the strikeout.
Georgia Tech, the best 2-strike hitting team in the country, hitting nearly 260 in those situations. The national average is under 190. Curse lines it into left field. That's a base hit. Georgia Tech takes the lead. Carson Curse, a 2-run single. He's knocked in 3. It's 4-2 Yellow Jackets.
That way too good of a pitch on an 0-2 count. Carson Curse, you make a mistake and he's going to make you pay. It's a slider, wants to throw it off the plate away, stayed open on it, so all that's going to do is just trickle over the heart of the plate. And Carson Curse, way too good of a hitter to do that too. Ends up driving it to left field. A 2-run single.
Brady Kirkpatrick will make a pitching change. The pitching coach for Virginia going to the bullpen. A 30-pitch inning does in Payon. We'll tell you about the new pitcher for the Cavaliers in a moment. 4-2 Georgia Tech in the 4th. Time just ran out on John Payon. A long fourth inning. Chased the freshman. You can see his frustration, but that's the relentlessness of the Georgia Tech lineup as they put together a 2-out rally. And he is replaced by Thomas Stewart, the freshman who has really come on of late for Virginia. Big breaking ball from this right-hander. This is outside the fastball. It's 1-0. He has to face, tied for Georgia Tech's all-time home run record in Drew Burress. Drew Burress, Jason Varitek atop the list, and the difference is Varitek played 4 years. Outside, 2-0. Drew Burress' first weekend in college as a freshman. He had a 4-homer game. He was a very famous high school player. His dad's been a prominent travel ball coach. Everybody knew who Drew Burress was. And I think there were some questions, Gabby, like when he was in high school, because he's not the biggest dude, and there's some swing and miss there as to how it was going to play at the next level. And all he's done is, dominate one of the top conferences in the country for 3 years, which isn't so bad.
No. Looks at a little bit of affirmations and goals that he sets for himself every day. We heard about that, where he has 3 goals. And I'll tell you what, he might be short in stature, but his game is huge.
It is very, very loud.
And powerful.
Powerful. I was talking to him and he told me you can be short and small, but you cannot be weak. This guy deadlifted 650 in high school. In high school. He's the strongest guy on the team, especially when it comes to deadlifting and squats.
Was he trying to get a car off of somebody? Like, what?
I was going to say, you're used to doing a lot of heavy lifting carrying me around, Gabby, but it's not 650. Did you ever deadlift 600 pounds?
I don't think we ever did deadlifts. We would do powerlifting.
Well, if you had, maybe you would have led Georgia Tech in homers.
It's very true. I squatted that. I don't think I ever deadlifted that.
Curse at first will be on the move on the 3-2 to Burress outside, ball 4. Stewart walks the first man he faces.
We kind of look at Stewart on the mound. 4-pitch mix. He has a fastball slider. He will have a curve on it and a cutter. One of the things that I was looking at, too, with him, this is his 9th game. In the 8 previous games, didn't give up a run in 6 of those 8. So he's been very, very good for Virginia on the mound this season.
He's been a guy that has emerged late in the year, and everyone on the coaching staff was raving about him before the game. Breaking ball swung out and miss. And Vincula was trying to make it 7-2.
I mean, this curveball, my goodness. Talk about a 12-6er. Where it starts, where it ends up. So much so that you're going to get a timeout real quick from your head coach and going, all right, let's not swing at that one anymore because that thing's absolutely filthy.
Gabby, it looked like he was trying to tell Advincula, like, use the big part of the field, right? Yeah. Let center field. Don't worry about it on that curve.
Don't try to hit the home run, right? Let that happen. Go up there, nice, easy swings, just like you've been doing all season long. Utilize the big part of the field.
In the dirt, and the count 1-1.
One of the other things, too, when you look at this Georgia Tech team, they try to take advantage of everything, and you'll see their base runners. As soon as that ball is hitting dirt, they're trying to get the extra 90. They're having to put the brakes on themselves quickly.
He swings and hits that one in the air to right. Moving over is Jackson, and a step out of the track makes the catch, and the inning is over. Georgia Tech scores 3 times to take the lead. Virginia head coach Chris Pollard joins Taylor next.
Welcome back here to Charlotte, now joined by UVA head coach Chris Pollard. You go to the bullpen. What is the challenge to managing a bullpen, knowing where you are at this point in this season and also the heat and the elements here today?
Sure. For us, it's easy because we're going to give guys short sprints. We don't look to extend anybody out of the pen today. Everybody's going to have their 4 or 5 guys that they match up with, and then we're going to pass it to the next guy. That'll keep guys fresh, but that way we'll get the best version of each guy.
Antonio gets you on the board.
Yeah,
what did you think of that homer?
That's a big swing, left on left right there. Just shows his maturation and growth over the season. I'm not sure early in the year, left on left, he's capable of doing that, but he's really grown as the season's progressed.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Mike?
Yeah, Taylor, that's been a big story for them. Parada was a part-time player for 2 years at Virginia, and now that he is taken over at first base regularly, he's become such an important bat for this offense. Got to see his growth. Heart of the order due here for Virginia in the 5th, starting with A.J. Gracia, single his last trip. First pitch outside, it's 1-0.
For Virginia right now, it's got to have that answer back inning. Georgia Tech, all of a sudden you had a 3-1 lead. Now all of a sudden they overtook, or a 3-2 lead. Now they overtook you. So you got to really try to come back here, at least get one, just to try to get that momentum back on your side.
Dylan Loy came in the 4th inning after what appeared to be a blister or a cut on the finger, cut short Tate McKee's day. Something we'll be keeping an eye on, I'm sure, ahead of regionals next Friday is the status of McKee.
I think they did it smart, too, getting him out so that it wouldn't open up more.
Now the question is, would James Ramsey go with McKee on Friday anyway? And boy, you're living good if you're A.J. Gracia. Zuckerman threw it for some reason, but somebody must have done something nice for somebody because that check swing base hit.
Yeah, smile. Get that smile going. This is the whoops. I don't want to swing. Oh, look at that. Perfectly bunted down the third base line.
I meant to do that.
Oh, that's great. And you got to think, too, if he was able to get barreled to that, because he didn't, he almost got knuckles to that pitch, it probably would have been a double down the third base line.
First pitch clobbered deep to left field. Joe Giroli ties the game at 4. We mentioned the importance of Giroli against lefties for this Virginia lineup, and he just tied the game with a 415-foot blast.
109 miles an hour off the bat, and Giroli has been getting pitched like this all game long. They're trying to come in, fastballs or breaking ball. They have everybody on that left side. This time, he beat the ball to the spot and is able to deliver a 2-run shot.
Lackey's going to head out to the mound. There's a lefty getting loose in the Georgia Tech pen. I wonder if they might be heading back to the bullpen here with Brett Barfield getting loose. Now it's Giroli's turn to be weighted down by the homer chain.
You gotta love that too with Giroli and having the ability to make in-game adjustments. This is, we talked about it, the whole entire game he has been getting pitched to in and in and in. And he finally decided, you know what, I'm gonna look in there. I'm gonna get a pitch. He got a breaking ball, it was up. He just gets the barrel, he beats it, says, hey, I saw what you were doing, give me a call, we're gonna hang it up, give me my chain, and I want to run and give high fives.
Swing and a miss by Sam Harris. I didn't see his lips moving. He really said all that?
I thought so. You weren't looking, that's why.
It's close enough attention, I guess. 109 miles an hour on the home run after the 39-mile-an-hour check swing single from Gracia.
The bloop and the blast, but this time it was the it was the oops and the blast.
Check swing in a tank. 2-1 to count to Sam Harris.
We talk about an answer back inning. Well, that was a huge answer back.
Said, hey, get one, answer back. Well, they've tied the game.
Said, how about two?
Time is called, and James Ramsey heading out to the mound. Looks like he's going to make a pitching change mid-count here. Either that or he's got a message he wants to deliver to Dylan Lloyd.
Nope. The message is we're going to go with somebody else.
Ramsey waiting. Here's as long as he can, and we will see a new pitcher here. So Lloyd leaves mid-count. There's one batter after this blast from Joe Tiroli tied the game. Highly offensive afternoon here in Charlotte. 4-4. Welcome to the 2026 ACC Baseball Championship. In Charlotte, North Carolina, Dylan Lloyd leaves mid-batter here. Falling behind in the count, 2-1 after giving up a game-tying two-run homer to Joe Tiroli. Brett Barfield is on, the senior left-hander. Very good strikeout to walk ratio. Does not give up a ton of base runners. Pumps in a strike, it's 2-2.
Yeah, only giving up a .212 batting average against. One of the things that we kind of looked at too, he actually does worse against lefties than he does against righties. And especially you look at this Virginia, there's a lot of lefties in this lineup, but you're gonna go after your lefty-lefty matchups. And one of the things too with James Ramsey is he wants to see other guys kind of take that next step, getting them put into situations where, hey, we're going to look for you, here moving on forward, regionals and hopefully supers and hopefully Omaha to be able to get big outs.
Just misses the corner there, and the count is full. Barfield started his collegiate career at Florida State. This is his third year with the Yellow Jackets. The count full to the left-handed hitting Sam Harris. The payoff, fouled away. Harris has really struggled with left-handed pitching in the course of his career. They were able to use him as a platoon bat at Duke last year, which really, he absolutely mashes righties. But trying to find consistency against lefty has been a key, and they have not had a good platoon option for him here at Virginia. The 3-2 again, and he takes ball 4. Now, if he can put together a bat like that against two different lefties, that will certainly help. You looking for more basketball talk? The ACC Network Basketball Podcast drops every Tuesday at 5 Eastern on ACC Network. Get the latest insights and stories from across the conference. You can also listen to each episode on the ESPN app. Harrison Didowick hits. Strike, snap throw to first, and the runner dives back.
He's so quick behind the plate. The athleticism of Von Lackey behind home plate. And again, if you're a base runner at first base, you're taking your secondary. One, your secondary is not going to be as big as it usually is because you know at any moment you're going to get somebody thrown behind you.
I'm surprised. Lackey's caught stealing percentage under 20% this year. I mean, he's been very good. He's gotten better throughout the year as a framer. I'm really shocked that his numbers are that low because it is one of the fastest releases you'll have. Now, could that be because of the pitching staff not holding runners? Probably. That one gets away from Lackey, a passed ball. Felt like it could have been called a strike, but it bounced away from Brandon Cooper.
And this should be a pass ball. This is a good pitch, just completely missing right off the heel of the glove. And you're right, I mean, that looked like a strike. But if you don't catch it cleanly, it's hard for an umpire to make that call.
Breaking ball just missed, 2-2. Go ahead, run in scoring position with nobody out.
Right now, if you're Didowick, just put the ball and play it to the right side of the field, get that runner over.
Fought that one off.
Good fight.
Just umping in a little bit. He's got him set up for another breaking ball, it feels like here. So what are you doing to try and get that to the pull side?
All you're trying to do is just get on top of any of these pitches, and you want to hit it to the right side of the field. Put the ball in play.
That's a foul first base side.
Just like that. You've got a little bit more room to play with just because of where guys are situated. But as a hitter, until you get to that, once you get to 2 strikes, that's a team at bat. So now all of a sudden you're playing for, hey, I need to get that runner over to third to give my next teammate a chance to get him in with less than 2.
2-2. And the count goes full. So another lengthy at bat. Harris away from second. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging a fly ball deep to center field. Burris is back and it's gone. Harrison Didowick to dead center. And Virginia has a 6-4 lead. I know these lefties struggle with lefties.
Apparently they do not. Harrison Didowick, what an at-bat. My goodness, staying on it. He said, get him over. How about get him in, and I'll come in with him too. Gets a fastball. The exit velo, 105 miles an hour, 416 feet. Boy, he did not miss that, and his team knew it.
Matt Taylor's going to go out to the mound here to have a visit with Barfield.
How about that? Pair of 2-run homers in this inning.
And both of them, as you see the totals here in the ACC Baseball Championship this year, both of them were, I mean, blast. Tiroli was 415. That one was 416. That one was hit off the batter's eye in center field. This is a very good hitting environment here, especially on a day like today where it is hotter in places.
Yeah, you got the wind blowing out too, get the ball up in the air. Now, that ball was 105 miles an hour off the bat, so that's not a cheapy one. That ball was well struck out to center field. And I just love the thought process of Harrison Didowick. You could see that he was trying, especially when he had that 2-2 count, trying to get the guy over, move him over, and all of a sudden, okay, now it's a 3-2. I'm still going to try to move him over, but got a pitch up that was elevated, stayed on it, and was able to hit the home run. This is something that we saw with this Virginia lineup when they were all healthy, where we saw them early on. We're like, this is a really good team.
First pitch coming to Jake Weatherspoon. There's a strike. Mason Patel is getting loose in the Georgia Tech bullpen. He is their relief ace. And so they're getting him up very early. You know, maybe it's a situation where they're looking to, I don't know, settle this game down, Gabby?
I mean, that's what it looks like to me, especially when you go ahead and bring out a guy like Mason Patel to go out there and start to throw. He is their ace in that bullpen, and you won't typically see him coming in when the team is down.
1-2.
But the way that Virginia is swinging the bat, the at-bats that they are having, sometimes you just have to maybe just stop and let your offense get back out there and score some runs. So you don't want any more damage against you.
Down low, 2-2. Patel did start some this year, then was sidelined a bit by an injury. His longest outing of the year is 4 innings. But the right-hander has been such a valuable member of this Georgia Tech bullpen the last 2 years, getting loose. And there's a lot of trust in Patel. Matt Taylor had him at Georgia Southern. I don't think he has had a collegiate game as a coach because he went to Georgia Southern for the Braves organization where Mason Patel hasn't been available to him. So this is the last handful of games those two will be together. 2-2. Fouled away off to the right out of play. Weatherspoon, who homered yesterday, digs back in. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. And that's the first out here in the 5th for Barfield.
And for Barfield, this is, I feel like, a pitch that he had been wanting to throw since he's been in there. A really good changeup right off the edge of the plate. Gets Weatherspoon a swing and miss at it. But they're going to need somebody to kind of step up right now for that Georgia Tech bullpen. You've got to understand, too, that you have a team that's going to be able to score runs.
Jackson swings and misses, 0-1. And no team scores more runs per game than Georgia Tech. Over 10 a game this season, nearly a full run per game more than number 2 in the nation. Fairleigh Dickinson, by the way, is second in the nation in runs per game. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Let's study up, man.
I should have. You're right.
1-1.
I didn't go down that rabbit hole.
I'm surprised that the NEC isn't at the top of your list of conferences to dig into, but there's always time before regionals. The 2-1. And the count evens at 2-2. Virginia with a 4 spot here in the 5th to take the lead. Big shift as the infield in motion. And Jackson fouls it back.
And what Jackson was trying to do there, shoot it the opposite way. And you could see just a little bit late on that fastball. But all of a sudden, everybody shifted on him. And he said, okay, I'll do what everybody else in our team has been doing, beating the shift. We'll just go ahead nice and easy. We'll just take it the other way. You don't have to hit it hard. You just have to hit it in that vicinity.
Foul tip into the glove of the catcher, Lackey, 2 outs. Right to the mound visit. A couple of strikeouts here. And Barfield will face Parada. Antonio Parada, a pair of hits, including a long 2-run home run his last trip. Drives that one deep down the left field line, slicing and going foul. There's Parada's blast.
Yeah, this was against Dylan Lloyd, and it was lefty-lefty. He gets a breaking ball up in the zone, and yeah, no, he didn't miss it at all. This ball was absolutely crushed into the street. That was a big two-run shot back in the fourth.
They should really stop traffic outside the park when left-handed hitters are up.
Or just put a flashing yellow light, be careful.
And he hits that one hard up the alley in right center field, and that one will want to hop against the fence. Parada 3 for 3 and a triple shy of the cycle here in the fifth.
All right, so Parada doesn't care who's on the mound at this point.
No.
It could be lefty, righty, he could be an ambidextrous and throw both at the same time. He's absolutely hammering everything. Beautiful swing, stays right on this pitch. It's a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, leaves the bat at 101, stand-up double. And just like you said, a triple away from a cycle.
And Barfield approaching 30 pitches since entering the game in the middle of this inning. First pitch to Murray. A strike, it's 0-1. Murray walked back in the second. Struck out looking. Tate McKee left this game early for Georgia Tech with an apparent blister or cut and what looked like his right ring finger. So Georgia Tech's been into the bullpen, and both Dylan Loy and Brett Barfield have struggled a bit. And McKee had looked very good through the first 3 innings. He's given up a run, but 6 strikeouts. Barfield ahead 0-2, and the pitch. Did he go? He went around on appeal, and the inning is over. A 4 spot, though, for Virginia as they go deep twice. Joe Tiroli to left. Harrison Dinowick to dead central. 6-4 Cavs. If the best is yet to come today, we are in for a real treat as these two offenses have been locked in so far. 6-4 Virginia leads. Von Lackey to lead off for Georgia Tech, and he smashes it deep to left center field and gone. It's a one-run game. I mean,
it's a launching pad here today.
Holy cow.
The big bats came out to play.
Von Lackey on the first pitch, Gabby.
He wasn't waiting around at all. Looks to be a cutter up in the zone, and boy, he was all over it.
just below the video board. Zuckerman fouls it away. First team All-ACC performer. As of right now, it feels like he is likely to go number 3 overall in July's draft.
Be careful.
I just think there are so many things about Von Lackey that are so interesting, not the least of which is that everybody in the Georgia Tech program will tell you he might be our best shortstop. This is their catcher, right? And he might be their best shortstop. He had a game earlier this year where he played all 8 defensive positions. He wanted to pitch James Ramsey, wouldn't let him, but he played every other defensive position on the field.
Probably would have thrown 95 off the mound, too.
I think that's what they were afraid of. 2-2. There's 2 things with it, right? You don't want him to get hurt pitching, and the other is if he throws 95, you're like, well, maybe.
Oh boy, you know what? We're gonna have you DH maybe a couple games to come in and close out ball games.
Zuckerman to first. Barado will underhand to the pitcher covering 1 out.
I asked Tate McKee to describe Von Lackey, and he said the first athlete. How does he know he's a freak? No, it's not because he played all 8 positions like you just talked about. It's because he can do a bat flip. This is him regularly after Georgia Tech gets big W's. He backflips in the clubhouse. So I was asking him about this. He said he learned to do it in 1st grade at his friend's house. They used to just practice doing backflips. So I was like, wait a second. Is that when you realize, maybe you're a little bit different than everybody else? And he laughs and said to me, what? Not everybody can do a backflip?
That's what you do after every single game that we call together. As soon as we finish, you do a backflip.
A handspring and a backflip. Yeah, that's it. When I work with Devin Travis, I do a whole floor routine. It's really great.
I would just like to
My tumbling is excellent.
I would like to see you try to do a cartwheel. Because I couldn't do a cartwheel right now.
Popped up foul. It's a long run and a nice play by Becker. The only man on the left side of the infield was the shortstop. 2 outs. Schmidt retired. You've got a gymnast in your house.
I do. And then she said, Dad, can you do a cartwheel? And I thought I pulled 3 muscles trying to do a cartwheel. And then they showed me the video. It was not a cartwheel. It was a sideways kind of roll thingy that I did there. So I said, no, I am not that type of athlete anymore. And no, you can't see the video.
I'm texting Judy. It's a 1-run game for Alex Hernandez.
She would send it.
Absolutely. Outside of ball. It is really fortunate that neither of us have the other's wife's phone number because
it would be bad. Oh, boy.
Oh, goodness. Here's the 1-0. I mean, I worry about breaking a hip watching Von Lackey do that. Let alone trying to.
Not only that, he's your star player and he's in socks.
In socks!
What are you doing? There's no way that James Ramsey lets that happen in front of him.
It's carpeted. It's carpeted, so there's a little traction, but
I'm definitely one of those that would say, yeah, let's not do that one anymore. I love it. Let's come up with something else that gets everybody hooting and hollering. How about a dance-off? Come on.
If he gets drafted and then does that, there's going to be somebody holding their breath right away. Who was it? Courtney Hawkins? Was that the first rounder of the White Sox that did a backflip at the draft, and everybody in the White Sox organization went, ooh.
It's not the look how athletic he is. It's like, what are you doing?
All you can see is, yeah, that's the difference between college and professional baseball. College, it's all fun. Professional, it's all about you're going to get hurt.
The older you get, the more you think you can do it.
College is freedom, Pro Bowl is your parents. Called strike 3. Inning is over. Stewart gets through it, but Georgia Tech gets a run from that man, Von Lackey. He goes into the backflip. And then he can bat flip. It's a 1-run game. The number 5 seed Miami Hurricanes are here getting ready to take on Boston College. You saw Alex Sosa go by. He has been red hot in the middle of the lineup with Daniel Cuvée out. Canes trying to get to the semis as they get ready to take on the Boston College Eagles. One of the great stories. They will face Anthony Colarusso, who was one of the best stories of last year's ACC Baseball Championship. Mason Patel, the relief ace for Georgia Tech, is on here in the 6th, trying to keep this a 1-run deficit. Top of the order for Virginia as Becker takes a strike. It's 0-1. Patel, I would say, Gabby, it's not overpowering stuff, but he is unflappable on the mound. I was in Atlanta earlier this year in the Thursday game against Florida State. In the first inning he pitched, clinging to a 1-run lead at that point. The first or second ball that was hit off Patel was absolutely smashed to left and caught 2 feet from the fence. And Patel was like, I got this, no problem. Boom, just take the throw back. Like, it is a very...
nothing rattles him.
Yeah, he was like, it is the closer mentality you want, right? The guy's like, I got this. If he gives up a run, he's like, I got this.
It's the mindset you want every single one of your bullpen guys to have. What that's going to do is it's going to limit the base on balls, and he doesn't really give up any base on balls. Only 8 in 33 innings of work. And every single time it seems like he goes out there, especially as a reliever. As a starter, it's a little bit different when you're coming into the game, when you're starting, you have that mindset.
Eric Becker with an opposite field base hit to get things started. Another hit against the shift for a Virginia batter.
At some point here, if you're Georgia Tech, you're going to say, okay, wait, they're making the adjustments against our defense. They're not trying to do too much. They're trying to stay inside the baseball when we go ahead and we shift everybody. And you can see the swing. It's staying inside of it, getting those hands close and tight to your body, and just trying to shoot it the other way, understanding that, hey, we don't have to hit it hard that way. You just have to hit it in that vicinity. It's an easy hit. You're at first.
Okay, but you're also taking away one of the big strengths for Virginia, which is their power. So where's that balance, right? Are you going to let them, how often are you going to let them take base hits the other way instead of letting Eric Becker hit a pull side 415-foot blast? A throw over to first, the runner's back.
It's what you want to do. And in my opinion, like, it's not easy to just get up there and try to hit that 400-foot blast. But if all of a sudden they have everybody on that right side of the field and there's nobody on the left, you can get some extra base hits and you don't even have to hit it hard if you're hitting down that third base line.
Bouncer foul.
I do understand what you're saying. There's that give and take. You are going to go ahead and try to get the hit, and you're going to eliminate a little bit more of that power. But I will take the hits and get that line moving and have a big inning rather than just having one big swing and maybe hit a solo homer.
0-2 the count to A.J. Gracia. Couple hits, including a check swing infield single his last time, and that one up and in, and the count 1-2. Like he thought about throwing it, forced Becker to dive back.
And again, though, you talk about a guy like Mason Patel on the mound who's pitching, who's unflappable, who doesn't really bother him. He doesn't care that he just gave up that hit. What does he do? Boom, 2 strikes right away. Try to set up an off-speed pitch your way.
The 1-2, down and in, 2-2.
He wanted it away. He just pulled that pitch, but for him, it doesn't really matter. Again, it's the way that he likes to work. He's not overpowering. 90, 92 mile an hour with that fastball. He will throw the sinker. He loves his changeup, and that's the one pitch that he can get a lot of swings and misses.
2-2. That would rip foul. He went to the changeup and he was out in front. Virginia's bench. You know, Taylor McGregor told us earlier that she was offered a shot of beet juice. What is in that beet juice that has these guys so fired up?
There's some type of energy that they threw in that beet juice. It's got to be.
I love this. This is so great.
I mean, they're all in it. You love that.
Bouncer foul. Hey, listen, it's hot. And this was not originally supposed to be an 11 a.m. start. So it is not the most robust crowd, and most of the people that are here have tried to find as much shade as possible. So you got to create energy, right? And I love that their dugout is doing that. 2-2 in the air to right. Going back on it, Hernandez makes a catch, a step onto the track for out number 1.
And I have to give credit down here to watch, because he is leading the charge when it comes to the energy. You can see him in the dugout right now. He's got a huge smile on his face, and really the guy who's challenging everybody to see who can be the loudest, because as you mentioned, they sort of have to manufacture their own energy, and they're doing so.
Well, it's creating certainly a fair amount of buzz here at the ballpark because of it. Joe Tiroli got that dugout fired up with a long 2-run home run his last trip. That tied the game at 4. Virginia with a 4 spot in the 5th. And he rips it on the ground to third, and under the glove of the normally sure-handed Zuckerman. Racing to third is Becker. And Virginia has him at the corners with 1 out.
This Virginia team is fun to watch, relentless. Score a run, we're going to get it, try to get it right back. And this is one for Zuckerman where I think he thought the ball was hit harder than it actually was. That ball came off at 86 miles an hour, but it looked with the swing that it was going to be harder than that. And as that ball gets hit, you can see that he went down early to try to make the play and realize, oh, this ball hasn't gotten here yet, and he was stuck in between.
They gave Tiroli a hit, and here's Sam Harris. He reached on an error back in the first. He's also walked. First pitch in the air, right center field. Hernandez is over. He will make the catch. Tagging and coming home to score is Becker, just the second earned run that Patel has allowed as a reliever all season, and it's 7-5 Virginia.
And you got to love Virginia, too, the way that they're playing this game. Becker, who got on with the base hit opposite field. That ball gets by Zuckerman, off and running, ends up getting over to third. Well, what does that do? Well, it puts you in a situation where you can go ahead and say, Sam Harris, just get up something out there in the outfield. Let's score another run.
Harris at Didowick. A go-ahead 2-run home run to dead center his last trip. And this is what it looked like.
Oh, it's an absolute blast. Gets a fastball, stays up in the zone, stays through it. Straight away center field, 416 feet. Big 2-run homer.
Big shift on now. I don't know, 1 count, and that one misses, 1-1.
And that's one of the things, too, where Patel probably didn't even realize that they were going to shift because they did it so late and all of a sudden stayed open on that fastball and utilized that outside part of the plate. If that ball was left down, guarantee you would have seen Didowick do what they've been doing all day, just trying to shoot something the opposite way.
Diving stop by Schmidt at first. He will take it to the bag, and the inning is over. Virginia gets the run back. They lead Georgia Tech 7-5 through 5.5.
Welcome to Squeeze Play. All the highlights, all the big moments.
Got a chance to have some big-time fireworks.
6 to 8 games on a screen at one time.
You're going to be locked in for that.
The season on the line.
Hashtag Squeeze Play. Send us some tweets. Maybe we'll put you on the so swell.
The storybook season will continue. Week from tomorrow, Squeeze Play. The best way to watch all of the action at the 16 regional sites. Matt Schick, Chris Budden, Michael Patrick Rooney, Chris from Louisville. Chris Burke. Chris from Louisville because he sounds like a sports talk show caller most of the time. They will take you around to all the action. It is so much fun. I love doing a regional as Max Stammel comes in. Starter for part of the year at Virginia, but every down moment during a regional, Squeeze Play is on. Like, it is incredible. It is so much fun.
And when they go quadratic, it's my favorite.
The Octobox, it feels like there's an intensity to it, and you can almost hear the emotion in Mike Rooney's voice when they go to the Octobox, where it's like
so excited. There's 8 games at one time.
It's 1-1.
Love Runes.
Oh, he's the best.
The professor. That's what I call him, at least.
Is that because he wears glasses?
He looks like a professor and he's super smart. That's why.
Bouncer foul by Will Baker. You count 1 and 2. 7-5, Virginia leading the top seed, Georgia Tech here in the 6th. And another bouncer foul. Hear the hum babes coming from the dugout. That's very Mike Rooney, by the way.
I mean, that's my time in baseball. The hum babes.
Hum babe, hum kid.
Here you go, hum babe.
How about you now?
And you loved it.
One time. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Weatherspoon, the catcher, and the leadoff man gone in Georgia Tech 6th.
Yeah, for Max Stammel, really good changeup. Uses it a whole bunch. It's more likely a fastball changeup mix. That's a changeup there to get the swing and miss. Changeup anywhere from about 78 to 82 miles an hour. Throws a fastball about 41% of the time. It's a good lefty arm, too. 90 to 93. He's pitched a whole bunch so far this season for the Cavaliers. 51 innings.
Well, it's a dozen starts for him. And he had, I would call it some up and down moments in the rotation. He did start in the midweek against Richmond a couple weeks ago, but he has moved more regularly into the bullpen. And it seems like that might be a better fit for him, as they really needed him to try and manage innings. Now, some of that early in the season was because Kyle Johnson, they were trying to work back. Johnson pitched out of the bullpen behind Henry Zatkowski yesterday. And again, like, Virginia is going to run things pretty similar to the way that Duke did when Chris Pollard coached there. Swing and a miss. Roches down on strikes, back-to-back punch-outs for Stammel. Stammel was at Duke. He was a reliever last year. He's one of the transfers that they brought with, but Chris Pollard could basically create a role-less pitching staff. To me, the key for him is having a reliever that can give them multiple innings. Remember, it was Charlie Bielenson a couple of years ago. This year for them, it's Lucas Hartman, transfer from Western Kentucky, who fits that role. And Hartman's stuff maybe isn't quite the same as Bielenson's was in those 2 years, but he is as durable, as rubber-armed, and that relief ace, that to me is the key role with the Virginia team.
And you need multiple guys to be able to do that, right? So you need to look for somebody else to be able to come in and give you those multiple innings. Stammel could be that guy for him where, hey, we can bring him in, and all of a sudden if we have maybe a bigger lefty lineup that's coming up, that we can all of a sudden maybe go 2 or 3 innings. Now all of a sudden that just helps you out, because you're going to need that in regionals. you're going to need that in Supers. You're going to need that in Omaha if you're able to get there.
I think one of the things that stands out about the way that Pollard and Brady Kirkpatrick have managed their pitchers is it's like a playoff baseball team in professional ball, in that we're going to find the guys that can go once through the order and help to get us length. 1-2-3 inning for Stamble there, settling it down at 7-5 Virginia to the 7th. Great history at Georgia Tech. You know, it's been 20 years since they've been to Omaha, but they have so many star players. You see Kevin Brown, Jason Varitek tied for the home run lead. Noma, Mark Teixeira, who's a great third baseman of theirs. Matt Wieters, former number 5 overall pick, switch hitter and closer for Georgia Tech. And one of the guys, along with Varitek, that helped give it that moniker that Vaughn Lackey wears on his chest, Catcher U.
Well, Lackey's saying, hey, Wieters was able to pitch. Why can't I? Come on.
Different time. Jake Weatherspoon swings, and this is the first offering from Mason Patel. It's 0-1. Joey Bart, the Pirates, with former number 2 overall pick as a catcher. They've had some great players there. Danny Hall, his first year as the head coach in 1994. Took them to Omaha. They went back in 06. That's the last time they've been there. Taylor?
Speaking of Jason Varitek, Drew Burress recently tied his career home run record at Georgia Tech, and the two finally had the chance to meet last weekend when they were in Boston. And I asked Varitek what that meeting was like. He said, the first thing I said to Burress is, hey man, you did it in 3 years. It took me 4, so I think you get the nod on this one. And I asked him, just watching Burress, what stands out? And he said, he actually reminds me of a smaller Eben Longoria, the foot placement and the way he moves to the baseball. So I thought that was really interesting. But yeah, Varitek surprised the group last weekend, and I know it meant a lot to all these guys because Varitek's name is everywhere in the Georgia Tech facility.
Yeah, it was Georgia Tech sweeping Boston College last weekend, and that's where he met Varitek, who looks like he's going to leave the Red Sox organization. He was part of that coaching staff change that they had mid-season, and was apparently offered a position and doesn't seem like he's interested in taking it right now. But man, Varitek was, I mean, he was a dude. Him, Nomar Garciaparra, Jay Payton, all on the same team.
Jeez.
Like, and you're Danny Hall, and you walk into that in your first year on the job, and it's like, well, this is gonna be easy, right?
This is great.
And then Danny Hall retired last year,
and he did the same favor.
And he did the same
James
thing.
Hayes.
Yeah.
He said, I could stay another year. This is going to be a team that could easily win it. You go ahead and take it.
Here, take these 3 first-rounders into right field, a base hit. A big turn for Jackson. He'll hold on at first. A 1-out single for the UVA right fielder.
Is he stopping at second right here, or is he going straight for third if he gets the ball into that right field gap?
Jackson?
No, Pareda.
Oh, Pareda?
Only needs a triple for the cycle.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, Antonio Parada. Easy for me to say. Single-double homer, as Gabby alluded to. And he hits that one to right. Gabby got really excited for a second.
I wanted to see him run.
Well, there is that well in right field that's reminiscent of Wrigley Field. You wonder if it had gotten over there. Take a funny bounce. Not that Parada's a burner, but...
I will say, though, even on Parada's outs, it's still hard hit. 99 miles an hour off the bat on that line out. He was not waiting around. Get a good pitch to hit, put a good swing on it. Just hit an atom ball.
2 outs, man at first. Number 9 hitter Noah Murray. First pitch. Ball 1 inside. Murray's punched out a couple of times today. Outside, 2-0. A walk back in the second inning for the third baseman. Virginia with a 7-5 lead. So we play the top of the 7th, and a big out here for Patel with the heart of the Georgia Tech order coming up in the bottom of the inning. If he can keep this a 2-run deficit, feel good about getting their offense, their best hitters to the plate. Now, as Burris set to lead off the bottom of the 7th, the problem is that Patel has fallen behind 3-0 here. That's the order you'll see. Burris, Vincula, and Lackey, all 3 of them semifinalists for the Golden Spikes Award. It's 3-1.
That's fun.
I know. It's just like all you can do is giggle at this Georgia Tech roster. By the way, they're losing this game, I want to point out, right? Like
3 guys on your team that are up for a Golden Spikes, the best player in all of college baseball.
Boy, Murray with a really good at bat there to draw a walk for the second time today, and more than anything, it turns the lineup over for Eric Becker.
And this is the second time that we've seen that here today, where all of a sudden, actually the third time that we've seen that, where they're able to turn the lineup over and get Becker a chance with a guy in scoring position to do some damage.
Singleton scored in the 6th. One of the biggest stars in this game, a top 30 prospect, according to Kylie McDaniel. Takes inside, top 35, I should say. Here's Kylie's list. These 4 players are all in the game. Gabby Sanchez's list would have Jared and Vincula right in the middle.
It would be Jared Vincula about number 15. Just bloop, I pop them right in there.
So this is a longer conversation. With 2 outs, we're going to run out of time on it. But okay, I know Vincula can run and he can hit, but A.J. Gracia's at-bats are big league at-bats.
I agree.
He doesn't swing. He's so quiet at the plate. Would you really put Vincula in front of Gracia? Do you think Gracia can play center field in the big leagues?
Yes, and that's I do. I think he's athletic enough to be able to.
That one nearly got away from Curse.
To be able to play out there. I think you can put him in any outfield position. I like the bat-to-ball skill.
I mean, you have to be so fast to play center field in the big leagues.
You don't have to be so fast. You just have to have the right angles.
You seen the sprint speeds of the guys that play center field?
These dudes are all fast.
Compared to who?
Definitely compared to us. That's for sure. They're blazing way ahead of us.
On the ground, diving attempt by Schmidt. It gets away. Rounding third and racing home is Jackson. The throw into left field. Oh, and what a good job to back up by Parker Brocious. It's an RBI double for Becker, 8-5, but it could have been a lot worse if not for the heads-up play of Parker Brocious.
That's a great job by Brocious there. This ball well struck
by Eric Becker down the line. And I want to see on this play, Smith does a great job of trying to even get to that, trying to knock it down. He goes to try to make the play at second. This ball's completely overthrown. Boom, Brocious. Great job of realizing I'm not going to stay back. I'm not going to just sightsee. I'm going to be a part of this play. Starts to work his way, understanding that that throw can come. He's the one that stays behind. And because of that, Virginia not able to get the extra 90. Great job out there in left field.
A.J. Gracia gets an intentional walk. So the bases are now loaded for Joe Tiroli. Tiroli already with a 2-run homer in this game. A huge 2-out opportunity for Virginia. The first pitch, a strike, it's 0-1. Tiroli, a big day at the plate, as you can see. Patel set. The 0-1. And he's ahead 0-2. Virginia's bench encouraging Tiroli. 35th pitch of the game for Patel upcoming. The 0-2. Upstairs. And a challenger with the heater. It's 1-2. The pitch. Down low. So tried to get him to chase up, tried to get him to chase below the zone, and Ramsey now hoping Patel can get out of this inning without any further damage as the count is evened at 2-2. Swinging a grounder foul.
The protector really didn't protect much on that one. Supposed to try to stay in front of the ball there in the bullpen. Protect your catcher.
Bershman knows it. Yeah,
he's like, that ball was hit way too hard.
That's a pitcher that seems like he's holding an infielder's glove. Maybe we need to get him something a little bigger out there. 2-2.
Mascot gloves. Mason Patel, he heard my joke. He had to step off for a second.
He was distracted by it. I did notice him roll his eyes.
Just like you did.
I shook my head.
That's common.
2-2. Bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the 7th. Virginia leads by 3. As the clouds start to gather here in Charlotte, the pitch. And the count is full, and now all the runners will be on the move. No place to put them. James Ramsey trying to encourage his closer, Virginia's bench. Getting behind Joe Tiroli. The 3-2, outside, ball 4, it's 9-5 Cavaliers.
What a take by Joe Tiroli. 3-2, this ball does not miss by much. It is off the plate, fastball trying to backdoor it with the sinker. You can see Lackey getting it, trying to bring it back. But what a heck of a take.
And a heck of an at-bat behind 0-2. Yeah. Tiroli comes back to draw the walk. And now here's Sam Harris. Sac fly his last trip. And he swings and hits it in the air to center. Going back a couple of steps is Burris. He'll make the catch, and the inning is over. Virginia tacks on a pair. It's time to stretch in Charlotte with Virginia leading Georgia Tech 9-5. The Boston College Eagles, their best ever conference season. Since joining the ACC, 17 wins, a double bye. And A.J. Colarusso on the mound this afternoon against Miami. And BC looking to build off this great year. Todd Donato's club plays a really fast, loose style of baseball. They will bunt, they will run, they will do all of the little things to put pressure on a defense. It is a completely different style, Gabby, that BC has than any of the other ACC teams.
It's fun.
It's one of the things I love about college baseball is the variety of the offense, right?
Just the way that they go about it, and really it started last year in this tournament where they realized, like, hey, we can play aggressive and we're going to get wins.
Burris pops up. Giroli will make the catch for out number 1. Let's take a look at the bracket. We may notice that we'll be starting early tomorrow, too. There is a lot of rain on the forecast over the next couple of days here in Charlotte. I should mention, on the grander scheme of things, much needed rain. It's been like 3 months since they've had any rain here. So, on the grand scheme of things, important. From the baseball standpoint, let's push the schedule up.
And we'll be able to have dinner tonight.
That's true. If I can stay awake through it. You'll be able to have dinner. And Vincula fouls the first pitch back. It's 0-1.
Just have to waft the food at you, and then you'll be like, okay, let's go eat.
Like those old cartoons, right? Where
just floating.
Yeah, they'll like grab me by the nostrils and drag me down the street. That'll be perfect. Vincula down the left field line, slicing in the corner, and that's a fair ball. It'll one hop against the fence. Jaron Advincula with an opposite field double. He didn't hit it very hard, but he put it in the perfect spot.
It's not how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it. And this is just a perfect spot. He does stay behind this baseball. He drives it the opposite way. We've been seeing a little bit too much of aggression, especially out in front. This time he lets the ball travel, lets it get back down that left field line. Easy stand-up double.
It's in scoring position for Vaughn Lackey, who launched a solo home run his last trip. And when I say launched, I mean it was well struck.
Ooh. I mean, just loud off the bat, no doubter.
Yeah, the video board's in play here right now. Count 2-0. Vaughn Lackey, the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. This is not like one of those cases in the old days in the Gold Glove Awards where the Gold Gloves were handed out to who hit the best.
No.
He actually is a great catcher.
And he is one of the best hitters, too. But he is the catcher behind home plate when he's able to do it.
Yeah, the count 3-0 to Lackey.
I'm not throwing him anything close here. It's got to be on a corner. It's got to be a good pitch. I'm not taking a chance where I'm going to let him explode on something. Right pitch. Good call. Go ahead.
Yeah, but the problem is that, okay, you've got the double play set up, and you've got Ryan Zuckerman.
The guy who has the most home runs on the team. We've talked about the power everywhere. Well, this guy has 20.
Yeah. You know, credit Virginia's pitching. They have been in the strike zone for the most part. That was the first walk issued by Stamo. I think they walked 3 total in this game. But this is a big spot here as an offensive timeout for James Ramsey. He'll use his second of the 3. And his message seems to have been simple in both the meetings we've seen, right? Like, just stay on a hit at the right center. That's what it looks like he's saying to me.
Yeah, I think that is what you have to do because of the big breaking ball, right? Hey, look to center field because if he does throw you that breaking ball, you can still keep that ball fair to the left field. But if you're thinking about pulling the fastball, you're going to swing and miss at that breaking ball.
20 homers for Zuckerman as he takes in the dirt 1-0. He started his college career at Pitt, showed power and promise as a freshman, really developed last year. And then the Pennsylvania kid jumped into the transfer portal, and Georgia Tech snagged him. He and Advincula, their two big transfer additions. Takes a strike, it's 1-1. He is strong, physical. You can get him to strike out. 75 of them on the year coming into today. And he was tardy on that fastball, 1-2. I mean, that was a pretty good pitch to hit. Thinking too much about right center in that spot?
No, I think he was probably thinking a little bit more on that softer. You get a breaking ball, and then all of a sudden you get a fastball. It's going to speed up on you.
Check swing foul.
The other one, too, with Stamwell on the mound, kind of looks like he hides the ball pretty well. He has a slight turn from the stretch where he kind of hides the ball close to his belly area, and then all of a sudden kind of a little bit of a crossfire as he's shooting that ball in. That could be a reason why he was a little bit tardy on that fastball as well, just didn't pick it up in time.
Well, it's two straight fastballs he's been late on. Does he go to a third, or does he go to that changeup? The 1-2. A little tapper to third. Going to be a tough play for Murray. Gloves, throws to first. Not in time as it bounced away from Parada. And Georgia Tech has loaded the bases with one out in the seventh.
And that's the thing with this Georgia Tech lineup. It doesn't matter if you get towards that bottom. They're still going to do it. This is just a swinging bunt. Zuckerman off and running. Not really much you can do with Murray. Tries to get it out of the glove as quick as possible to get it over. Parada not able to make the pick. Should be a base hit anyways, and all of a sudden there's bases loaded.
Kent Schmidt takes a strike. It's 0-1. Schmidt about 100 points worse against lefties than righties this year. Facing the lefty Stammel. Foul tip into the glove of the catcher Weatherspoon. It's 0-2.
6 home runs on the season, every single one of them against righties. No home runs against lefties so far this season.
But about a 1-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio against lefties. He's behind 0-2, way outside. Trying to add a little too much to that with Stammel. Tying run at the plate here in the bottom of the seventh. And line drive, base hit into right. One run will score. Everybody else moves up 90 feet. A base hit for Schmidt, and it's 9-6.
Schmidt not trying to do too much there, not trying to hit a home run at all on that pitch. It was just short, quick, compact, not trying to do too much. Almost a half swing, doesn't even finish it. But he's just trying to put barrel to baseball, put it in play with bases loaded. You can tell he's pumped, telling his team to come on.
Alex Hernandez. He bats and takes a strike. It's 0-1. Now Hernandez has been a guy with reverse splits this year. He's been better against righties than lefties. Only one of his 9 homers have come against southpaws. Tying runs aboard in the seventh. Bouncer to the left side. Becker has it to second for 1. The relay to first, not in time. An RBI fielder's choice, and it's 9-7. And there is action in the Virginia pen. There's Lucas Hartman. We were talking about him earlier, their rubber-armed reliever.
You talk about the free passes. We just finished saying about the Von Lackey. He was the 4th walk of the day for Georgia Tech. 3 have come in to score. And that's one of the things that when you're facing a lineup like Georgia Tech, one free pass and it almost seems like it doesn't matter. They're going to come in to score it some way just because how good this lineup is.
I mean, they're not Pitt. Pitt in the first 2 games, they're in the quarterfinals now, have drawn 600 walks over the 2 games. 2-0. That number may or may not be accurate. It just feels like 600 walks.
It's probably pretty close, though.
Boy, what a frustrating team to play if you're a pitcher. It's like they're not going to swing at anything. 2-0 the count to Will Baker, and it's 3-0. Will Baker with 2 outs, trying to get home at least the tying run, or at least another run to make it a 1-run game. And he takes a high strike. It's 3-1. That's the 3rd time there's been a pitch at the top of the zone that Baker has not been fond of. He handles lefties pretty well. The 3-1. That one's outside, and the bases reload. Second walk of the inning for Stamel with the number 9 hitter Brocious coming up. 25-pitch inning for Stamel.
This might be it. For Stamel with the righty up. Yep.
Parker Brocious coming to the plate with the bases loaded, and Lucas Hartman's going to come into the game. 2-run game, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Georgia Tech has them loaded. A wild one this afternoon in Charlotte.
Omaha, Nebraska, the epicenter of college baseball. Teams holding their breath for a chance to dogpile in America's heartland. It's the NCAA Baseball Selection Show with watch parties all over the country. Let the road to Omaha begin.
Monday, a day so exciting, it's like 6 Christmases rolled into one. Nobody sleeps the night before Selection Monday as we find out who will be on the road to Omaha and whose national championship dreams will end before they get a chance. And a great college baseball tournament. As you saw the final numbers from Max Stamel, he is responsible for 3 runners on base. And here's Lucas Hartman. 34 appearances this year for the 5'10" right-hander.
9-2 on the season with a 3.41 ERA. A lot of strikeouts, over 1 per inning. He is a ground ball pitcher, so he's going to get some ground balls. He doesn't really walk too many guys, especially here as of late. In this type of situation, you've got to be the aggressor here. You have to go right after the hitter.
First team All-CUSA a year ago for Western Kentucky. He's been at Western Carolina. He's been at FGCU. He is a very, very dependable Division I reliever. As he fires in a strike, it's 0-1. Not overpowering, rubber-armed, can give you a lot of length. He's facing Parker Brocious with the bases loaded, and he's ahead 0-2.
That's exactly what you want out of your reliever coming in a big-time situation like this with bases loaded.
Tying runs in scoring position with 2 outs. And that one hit high in the air, deep to left center field. Parker Brocious with a grand slam. It's 11-9 for Georgia Tech. Kevin, we talked earlier about how they're the best two-strike hitting team in the country. They lead in batting average, slugging percentage with 2 strikes, and they did it again. Carson Kearse takes the ball.
Parker Brocious, 0-2, changeup. It's elevated, way too good of a pitch, and boy, this ball got hammered.
Go ball, he says. Heading to first.
Wow. My goodness.
Oh, man, a lot of big hugs to the senior in the dugout. We talked about him before as essentially the 10th man of the offense. They've played 57 games now this year. He's appeared in 47 of them. This is just his 19th start. Carson Kearse swings and misses. It's 2-2.
What a big swing.
Oh.
Big time situation, bases loaded. You're down 0-2. You're thinking, oh boy, what's going to happen now? You get a pitch that just missed location, and boy, you didn't miss it. That's what good hitters do. You make a mistake and they make you pay. Especially like a team like Georgia Tech, 117 home runs on the season. That leads ACC.
Kearse crushes it. Back to back. Second of the game for Carson Kearse. 12-9 Georgia Tech. Well, we get to see the Georgia Tech offense now, and Burris, the 10th man to come to the plate in the inning.
And for Carson Kearse, he wasn't just happy with 1 home run on the day. He decided that he wanted 2. 10th home run of the season, driving this ball 102 miles an hour off the bat. We told you how good this team is offensively. Oh, he's saying it, come on, as he's running around. We talked about how explosive this offense is. Well, they just finished showing it in this inning. 7-run inning.
I mean, and it happened like that.
How quick it happened.
1-2 the count on Burris. He popped out to second to start the inning. All 7 runs scoring with 2 outs. Burris down on strikes and the inning is over. But the damage done. Georgia Tech with a 3-run lead as we head to the 8th. Parker Brocious. A grand slam to give him the lead. Go ball, go ball. That one is grand. And then Carson Kearse. Back to back. Big time juice. You know, Parker Brocious, a 4-year player in this program, has dreamed of moments like this. A go-ahead grand slam of the quarterfinals of the ACC Baseball Championship. And he has given Georgia Tech the lead. Carson Kurse, you see him in the foreground. His second over of the day followed. And now Mason Patel's pitching with the lead. And that one popped up foul by Harrison Didowick, and it'll reach the seats. Here's just the 7th inning for Georgia Tech. 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 homers. Both of them with 2 outs. Best 2-out hitting team, best 2-strike hitting team. 2-strike, 0-2 grand slam. That one ripped under the glove of Schmidt and off the sidewall. Didowick runs well, and he's on his way to second. And Virginia trying to answer. They have the leadoff man aboard in scoring position here in the 8th. I would maybe order lunch. I don't think you want to leave the couch right now.
And what's crazy, too, is that every single time that Georgia Tech has scored, Virginia has answered. It doesn't matter. They're going up there. They're swinging the bat. They're swinging it well. They're putting up runs. It's going to be a dogfight. You're just going to have to outscore the other team right now.
Jake Weatherspoon, the catcher, takes a strike. It's 0-1. Weatherspoon 0 for 3 today, as you see. Transfer from Indian River State Junior College, where he was the Defensive Player of the Year in Division I for NJCAA, the National Junior College Athletic Association. But he has some power, including a home run yesterday. Had a couple of big hits for Virginia in their win over Duke. Down 3 with 6 outs to play. Down low, 2-1. What's at stake for both of these teams? They're both going to make the NCAA tournament. Virginia's metrics are pretty good, but based on their conference record, it would be very unlikely that they ended up hosting. They're going to be a 2 seed. Georgia Tech's going to be one of the top 3 seeds, regardless of what happens today. So this is more about the spirit of competition and wanting to win a title. And a really cool trophy. I wish you had like an ACC championship trophy you could just put on the mantle at home.
I do. I don't have one.
You think they sell replicas?
Good luck. That would be cool.
To center field, going back on it is Burris, and he has to make a leaping grab. The ball kept carrying on him. Heading to third is Didowick. 1 out.
That's a really nice play by Burris at center field. This is not an easy play to make. This ball is hit extremely well out to center. Burris is going back, and as he's running back, makes the leap, makes the grab. That is a tough play. That's stealing a double, stealing an RBI away from Weatherspoon.
Ball seemed to maybe knuckle a little bit. It was hit fairly hard, about 103 miles an hour off the bat. But
that's about fairly hard.
Well, today it's fairly hard. That should get the run home. Into left center, Burris leaps, and it's off his glove. That one kept carrying. Jackson stops at second. Derek Simmons, the third base coach, says it's a home run. He wants them to look at it. He can't believe. You think it's a catch? No, it cannot be a catch because he did not reach into the glove. He wants to check to see whether or not that's a home run.
No, they're calling it an out. They're saying that it was when he was pulling it out.
I can't. Are you serious?
I saw something fall, but I didn't think that that was the ball. It was his glasses that fell down. He jumps up to make this play. He hits the wall.
Oh,
his
you're right. It's his glasses. What a catch by Burris.
That ball was in his glove, secured. That was his glasses that fell. It was not the ball. They can go ahead and look at it, but everybody was thinking that the glasses were the ball. He made that
you're
play.
Right, Gabby.
That was incredible.
Unbelievable play by Burris for out number 2.
It'll still be a sac fly, but boy, that could have been a lot more.
They're going to explain what happened to Chris Pollard.
From everybody's vantage point, you see something fall and you automatically are like, that's the ball. But he never went to go get the thing that fell. He was right into his glove the whole entire time. If they go and challenge this, it's gonna be 8 out.
Well, that's interesting. Chris Pollard just said, they said, do you want to look at it? And he said, listen, I want it to be your challenge, not mine.
Right.
If it's going to be a crew chief review, I'll take it, but I want to hold on to my two.
There are 2 challenges on the play. Virginia's challenging the call of catch in the outfield. Georgia Tech is challenging the call that the runner legally retouched third base. The play is under review.
All right, so both teams have a challenge here.
This is interesting. I've never seen this one before where both teams are challenging something different.
Well, the catch is going to be upheld.
Yeah, the catch is going to be upheld. Was a catch. Both of them are going to be upheld because he didn't even leave until after the fact. So
it's good base running by Didowick.
Great base running by Didowick. He did the right thing, goes back. He didn't even after the glasses fell, he still didn't even go. So both of these will be upheld. Great job by the umpires on understanding what was going on, seeing it, saying that's fine, you want to go ahead and review it, we'll review it, but we know we got it right, and they did.
Run scores on the play. It should be 12-10 now as a result of the sac fly.
Wow, what a play.
That was a great
That's
catch by Burris. I feel that was an incredible play, but
that's just back-to-back play by Drew Burris.
I mean, he hit the wall so hard his glasses popped off.
I mean, to jump up and get it, we talked about the ball is taking off right now. That ball was well struck, but Burris just going out to get it. Doesn't care that he's giving up his body to make the play, smacking the wall.
There is very little wind, but you're right, the ball is just flying at this moment, and you know, it is getting darker around the ballpark. I think it's why Burris, I believe it, did he have his glasses on top of his hat? It felt like we were in that spot where you kind of want sunglasses and you kind of don't. I mean, right now he's got them on.
I'm surprised that this is even taking this long.
They're just double checking to make sure that Didowick tagged. The umpire's going through the review process.
This should be a confirmed on both.
Yeah. Should be a sacrifice fly.
I'm putting out it will be. I'm confirming everything that they called on that field.
Brian DeBauer, our second base
After
umpire.
review, both calls are confirmed. The ball is caught and the runner legally retouched third base. Both teams lose the challenge. They have 1 remaining.
All right, so both teams lose the challenge with 2 outs in the 8th inning. More importantly for Virginia, they get a run. And it's a 12-10 game as Antonio Parada will bat, who is 3 for 4, a single, a double, a homer, and a blistering fly out to right field. See what you've been missing?
I haven't been missing. I've been watching every game.
But you haven't been here.
I haven't been here. I haven't been next to you. That I have been missing, partner.
Aw. Thought the hand hearts were saved for Danny Graves.
They are. You get the pat on the back.
To the left side, going to be a tough play for Curse. Off bounce, throw, he got him! Carson Curse! How far did he have to go to get that ball and then make a perfect throw to end the 8th? Wow!
Carson Curse just showing it off at shortstop. On the move, turns his body, gets the out. Man, what a play.
Charlotte, North Carolina, the home of this year's 2026 ACC Baseball Championship. We've reached the bottom of the 8th inning. Freshman Christian Lucarelli will be charged with trying to keep this a 2-run deficit. Very impressive strikeout numbers for the freshman right-hander, but the walks almost won an inning, and that's going to be a challenge facing this Georgia Tech lineup.
Yeah, the last thing that you want to do is, one, fall behind this Georgia Tech lineup, because you just finished seeing what could happen very, very quickly, where they put up 7 in that bottom of the 7th inning. So you have to try to attack the zone early.
2-run game. 3, 4, and 5 in the Georgia Tech order, starting with Advincula. He started the rally with a 1-out double in the 7th. Swings and fouls it off. It's 0-1.
Yeah, that's the one thing with Lucarelli. I mean, it's a good fastball. You just saw 97 miles an hour there. Darren Advincula, he's trying to get the bat head out because he understands, hey, that's a good right-handed arm on the mound. We'll throw a little bit of a cutter. He does have a 12-6 breaking ball as well.
That one was more like 12-12.
Yeah, that one didn't do much. It just stayed up.
This is the first of 2 today. A little bit later this afternoon, we'll have Boston College and Miami. Down 1-2 to Advincula. Sorry, 2-1. Noah Yoder, Kevin Jackson getting loose. Noah Yoder has maybe even a better fastball than Lucarelli. That went inside. It's 3-1.
And that's the thing with Lucarelli. I mean, you look at it, the ERA is exactly where you want it to be, at 1.04. The guy's only hitting 219. He just gets himself in trouble by falling behind. He's got to be able to get that fastball across home plate.
15 walks. 3-1. Fouled away, and the count is full.
When he's in the zone, guys can't hit it. It's when he goes out where all of a sudden it's a walk here, walk there. Guys get into scoring position. You have a wild pitch.
I mean, that fastball has
it's ridiculous.
Unbelievable carry on it. The 3-2. Inside, ball 4. Tried to run that one back to the corner, it looked like, and Advincula leads off the 8th with a walk.
I mean, his induced vertical break of 20 inches. That's elite level of vertical.
Beyond elite.
You're talking about, guys in the big leagues that, I know Yuri Perez is up there in the list at like a 20 to 21 inches. I mean, that's what he's throwing out there on the mound.
Yeah, and it's from a lower release angle, too. I mean, it's got, the data on it is really good. Now, I will say that the IVB, as you call it, I know you like to use acronyms, sure, possible, but that carry on the fastball, the college ball is a little different than the pro one. So you see some better.
Seams are a little bit higher.
Yeah, better carry on pitches and some better numbers than you see in the major leagues. But still, that's a really impressive number.
And what all that does is the IVB is it basically stays on plane through the whole entire zone. So usually gravity will come and that ball will kind of drop. So that's going to give you a lower IVB. When you're able to kind of cut through gravity and stay up, that's where your guys swing underneath those pitches.
Lackey takes up an in on the count 2-1. Vaughn Lackey today, the star catcher for Georgia Tech. He's homered, walked, scored twice. The ACC Defensive Player of the Year. It looks like a ball got loose. And they'll reset it into the bullpen for Virginia. Here comes the 2-1. A strike at the bottom of the zone. Hated 95. Here's Lackey's blast.
You hang it up there, and it's going to go a long way when Vaughn Lackey is at the plate.
Solo shot. Back in the 5th, and he hits that one high in the air. Deep to left center field, and his second of the game. Georgia Tech's offense is inevitable. It's 14-10.
He doesn't stop. Again, you put something over the plate, you hang a breaking ball, it's not coming back. It's out of here. 102 miles an hour off the bat. See you later. Second home run of the day for Von Lackey. 17 on the season. You have to remember this. His first two, his sophomore and his freshman year, he had a combined 10 home runs. He has 17 this year.
That's what a year. Zuckerman blisters one foul.
And by the way, he's hitting 400.
Yeah. And he was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. But other than that, the season's kind of mid.
Yeah.
I don't know how you pitch to this team, right? They're great with 2 strikes. You have to throw strikes to them because you can't create more traffic, but you can't throw strikes to them because they blister strikes.
You will know it's like you can't make the mistake pitch because they do not miss mistake pitches. You leave a breaking ball up, gone. So you have to execute every single pitch. You know how hard that is to do? It's impossible.
Oh, I mean, it would seem like the only way to be able to get to them is like add, subtract, and keep them off balance and try and get them caught in between. But they have so many different styles of hitter in the lineup. You might be able to clip 5 or 6 of them in a game, but there's 3 others who can burn you.
It's trying to keep them uncomfortable at the plate, but you have to do it 1 through 9. And that's where it starts to get really, really hard. Because all of a sudden, like, yeah, you talk about, controlling maybe the inside part of the plate to now open up the outside, adding and subtracting. Like that right there. Like, if you're able to do that, but then they don't swing. So now they're not even swinging outside of the zone. Now they're comfortable at the plate. They understand the strike zone.
I mean, it's got to be mentally taxing to call pitches against this team. Here's the payoff. Down low, ball 4. Second walk of the inning issued by the freshman. Zuckerman reaches for a 3rd time today. 13 hits for Georgia Tech's offense. 2 multi-homer games. Curse and Lackey, a grand slam from the number 9 hitter Brocious. And Brady Kirkpatrick out to the mound. And a pitching change coming here with Georgia Tech leading by 4. Looking for more in the 8th. Georgia Tech flipped this game on its head in the 7th. An 0-2 grand slam from Parker Brocious gave them an 11-9 lead. Carson Curse followed with a solo shot. A 7-run 7th inning. And the Yellow Jackets 2 more here in the 8th. Now up 14-10 on Virginia as they look to advance to the semifinals of the ACC Baseball Championship. Just in the 7th inning alone. That's an entire game's worth of offense in the 7th inning.
I mean, you look at it, 7 runs off of 5 hits, 2 walks. They're an explosive team, and they scored those 7 runs, and it felt like it was in an instant.
First pitch down and in to Kent Schmidt. Schmidt, a key base hit during that rally. He's got a couple of hits and been on base with a walk, too. 2 runs scored today for the first baseman. And he's ahead 2-0. Kevin Jacksel, veteran right-hander, delivers and misses in the count 3-0. See the senior.
He usually does a good job, too, of not giving up the free passes. Only 12 walks in 36 and 2/3 innings pitched.
This is his 76th career appearance for Virginia.
They love to use him. This is making his 25th game here this season. Good fastball, slider, changeup next. Does have a curveball.
The 3-1. Schmidt on the right field line. That one going back, and it's gone. Onto the home run porch for Kent Schmidt. It's 16-10.
Pollard is looking at this going, I don't know what else to do. These guys are just hitting everything out of here.
You're so cool. I mean, the shot of Chris Pollard just standing on the railing being like, what do you do?
What do you do?
What are you going to do?
There's not much that you could do.
I mean,
you look to the other side, you make some pitches, and they're just getting barreled to baseball and hitting out of the ballpark.
I mean,
and your offense, I guarantee you, if you ask Pollard, hey, you're going to score 10 runs today, he said, we're going to take it because we've got to get the win. I mean, this pitch is a slider. It stayed up, but it's coming in underneath the hands, and nope. Barrel beats it to the spot. Home run. And not only that, taking advantage of the free passes. And we've talked about the free passes today for Georgia Tech. They've had 7 free passes. 6 of those 7 have come in to score.
I mean, this is one of the best lineups that we've seen. This is rivals Tennessee in 23. Another one. Hernandez to center, and that one will die just shy of the track for out number 1.
Off the bat, I was like, that's another one.
I mean,
another.
Well, you just get conditioned to thinking every fly ball's going out of the ballpark with this offense. It's 11 runs in the last 2 innings.
And it's another hard-hit baseball. I mean, ball off the bat at 97 miles an hour. A hard-hit baseball is considered 95 plus.
Did you see the stat that Bradley Smart from D1 Baseball had this week? He was talking about, I think the last team went 25-5 in league was, I'm going to say it was Louisville in 2019. The only other one since the 30-game schedule started as Baker's thrown out for out number 2 to go 25-5. And they outscored their opponents by like 78 runs, right? Which is pretty good. That's a good total. Georgia Tech outscored them by almost 150 this year in league play. They went 20-2 in the last 22 league games. This is. The thing is that there are other offenses that are really good. Like Georgia's offense is really good. UCLA's offense, from a star power standpoint, matches Georgia Tech's. But
it's a tough offense.
I mean, I don't know how you're going to beat this team in Atlanta to get to Omaha. Omaha's a different story. That ballpark is huge. But holy cow, Brosh is hit by a pitch.
Not a fastball, it was a breaking ball.
And back to the top of the order with Carson Curse. They have sent 18 hitters to the plate in the last 2 innings now. Virginia had a 9-5 lead. With what, 2 outs?
Yeah, with 2 outs in the
2 outs in the 7th inning. The grand slam was the big move, the big blow for Georgia Tech. Brady Kirkpatrick going to go back to the bullpen here too. On to the next. Jaxel out of the game. The flame-throwing freshman Noah Yoder is coming in. 2 outs in the 8th, 16-10 Georgia Tech. A half a dozen home run swings from the Georgia Tech offense. That's the big one. Parker Brocious' grand slam, Carson Curse and Vaughn Lackey each with a pair. And Kent Schmidt didn't want to be left out of the party. 16-10 Yellow Jackets as we play the bottom of the 8th inning. New pitcher for Virginia is Noah Yoder. Not even those snow cones could cool down this Georgia Tech offense.
Well, they're going to hope that Noah Yoder can come in with that explosive fastball. My goodness. You like to see the radar gun. Just take a look and look at Yoder when he comes onto the mound. That fastball velocity is going to be in the upper 90s.
Outside, 1-0. He has future ace written all over him. It feels like next year he is going to be a huge part of this Virginia rotation.
I mean, stuff-wise, absolutely.
Curse fouls it away. Count 1-1. Carson Curse already with a pair of homers in this game. He's also singled. Made a spectacular defensive play, too. Oh, she's away. Breaking ball slipped out of the hands of Yoder. Sent Brocious to second. The 2-1 inside with a breaker. It's 3-1.
He's not able to control that breaker right now. He's staying open. And what that does is that ball is going to stay and hugging tight to a right-handed hitter. He's not staying on top and finishing those pitches. He's got to release a little bit more out in front.
Curse fouls it away again.
Or just throw 97. Stop messing around with the breaking ball. Throw that 97. Get guys to now try to chase that. Then you go ahead and throw that breaking ball. But for me, Noah Yoder, this is a great spot for him. And I feel like it will help out for next week, right? Like you get a big-time situation against a Georgia Tech team that has a very good lineup. The next team that you face ain't gonna have that lineup, right? So it's a little bit more comfortable. It's a little bit more at ease. So I love what Pollard is doing here of like, hey, we're probably not gonna have another game. This team, it's gonna be hard to come back because right now the offense is clicking. So get guys in to get basically some work on the mound so that you're not having that much time in between one start or one outing and the other.
They'll start regionals a week from tomorrow. And this their only game, well, 2 games they played yesterday since Saturday. So Tyler Kappa gave him a lot of good work yesterday. Count 1-1. (16-10) Georgia Tech in the 9th. Ooh, pickoff play in a second. Tiroli wasn't there. That was very nearly a balk. And the count 1-2 to Burris.
This is what I want to see with Yoder. You have Burris up there, quick, short to the baseball. Go ahead, challenge. Looking at a game at 16-10, go right after these guys. Utilize that fastball. A lot of times, too, you go into you're looking at this Georgia Tech lineup and you start to try to get, fancy with it rather than just being aggressive and going right after them.
Swinging a fly ball into center. There's Gracia. He's got it, and the inning is over. Georgia Tech 3 outs away from the semis. They lead Virginia 16-10. This is what they're playing for. Well, this trophy and an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament here at the ACC Baseball Championship.
That's pretty.
It's also going to be very warm if it's sitting in the sun.
It's going to be hot. Don't grab it.
Just wear gloves. You don't want to get it all gunky, too.
Yeah, no fingerprints on that.
Justin Shattuck, the sophomore, comes in. Trying to get the last 3 outs for Georgia Tech, send them on to the semifinals where they will await the winner of our second game today. Boston College takes on Miami.
And Justin Chaddock, another big arm for Georgia Tech. Another guy that can throw a fastball in that upper 90s range. That's topped out at about 98 miles an hour this season. Good fastball curveball mix that he likes to utilize.
First pitch to Noah Murray, the number 9 hitter, takes a strike. It's 0-1. Murray's walked twice and scored. 9-1-2 due for Virginia as they try to mount a rally. 11 runs over the last 2 innings for Georgia Tech have flipped this game on its head. Including 4 home runs in those frays. What do you have, 9 homers total in this game? Is that right?
It sounds right. That's
well, he got a pencil left. Grounder to short. Curse will throw him out. 1 gone here in the 9th. Top of the order, and Eric Becker. Again, with as much time as Becker missed, missing a couple of weeks with an injury, he was back in the lineup yesterday. It feels like today the quality of the bats got better and better. Like he lined out in the second, and then you started to see him work it a little bit more and start to get it to the pull side. He's not a guy that's going to draw a ton of walks, but having Eric Becker at full strength of the plate is a huge key if Virginia is going to make a run of the postseason.
And here's the thing. You have any time off, however time it might be.
Through the left side, a base hit.
Beautiful. The timing is going to be the part that you get back last. So you can go up there and, you can work off a machine. You can do anything that you possibly can to try to get that timing back, but it's not going to come until you have those in-game at-bats. And sometimes it takes a whole entire series to get that back before you kind of start to feel comfortable again of seeing fastballs. Hey, am I right on time on fastballs? Am I early on breaking balls? Whatever it might be that you want to be.
A.J. Gracia bats. Takes low, 1-0. Chaddock trying to shut the door against Gracia. The quality of the at-bat for Gracia is another thing that stands out to me. And this is going on 3 years. Remember last year, he got off to a really slow start results-wise. And I remember talking to Chris Pollard early in the season when they were at Duke, and he was like, listen, he's like, I get it. The numbers aren't great. He's like, but everything under the hood in terms of the quality of bat, the quality of contact, everything was right in line with what Gracia always did. And he got hot down the stretch. Hitting a potential double play here. Throw to first, and this game is over. Those are 2 guys that Virginia's going to need if they're going to make a run in the postseason as they fall today to Georgia Tech. Their regular season and ACC tournament now over. They will await to see where they go on Selection Monday, while Georgia Tech continues their pursuit of a tournament championship as they rally to beat Virginia 16-10. There's Pollard stopping to talk with James Ramsey. What are the odds? He said to him, your offense is good.
I don't think he said good. Probably said your offense is ridiculous. And that's exactly what they were again today in this ball game. 6 home runs on the day. 8 extra base hits.
Parker Brocious with a big grand slam to give Georgia Tech the lead. The senior is with Taylor McGregor.
Thank you. Your grand slam, the big moment in this game. You fall behind 0-2. Coach was telling us pregame how much he talks to you guys about situational hitting in situations like that. So what are you thinking when you fall behind?
No, I mean, approach doesn't really change. Just try to back the ball up a little bit more. And then he hung it, I banged it. That's pretty much what happened.
We saw you saying, go ball, go ball. At what point did you realize it was gone?
No, once it was up there for a little bit, I was like, okay, I got that one. But there's settle for a second. I was like, oh boy, that one's got to go a little bit.
You guys score 7 runs that inning. This offense has been the best in the country all season long. What is it about this group that you're able to string together hits like that and produce the way you did that half inning?
No, yeah, I mean, this offense is relentless. I mean, this group is just so special. We pride ourselves on 2 strike, 2 out hitting, and it all came through today.
What's the most enjoyable part about playing with this group every day?
Oh, I mean, this group is a great group of guys, like showing up every day to the field, getting to hang out with them. It's awesome.
Thank you. Mike?
Taylor, thank you. Parker Brocious, one of the heroes. 6 home runs for Georgia Tech as they come back with 11 runs combined between the 7th and 8th, and they await the winner of this afternoon's next game, Boston College and Miami in the semifinals on Saturday. And that game will be coming up in just about an hour. Coming up next, all ACC. Jason Spells, Danny Graves standing by. We'll be back with Boston College and Miami in just a little bit. For Gabby Sanchez, Taylor McGregor, and our crew here in Charlotte, I'm Mike Farron. Georgia Tech to the semis. They beat Virginia 16-10.